Can you hear me now? Yeah, you should be able to hear me now. I can see it coming in. My Streamlabs, like, some of you guys... So, let's rewind. Hello! Welcome to Beyond Avernus. I am DM Steve.
Hi, Alleged 5.
Hi.
Awesome.
Hi, guys.
I know, I don't know what it is, but between my last stream and this, my Streamlabs, I don't know if it updated, but I started having a lot of, like, issues with things not syncing up right. And so, luckily, we had someone in chat to help us make sure that we were all lined up. So thank you, that guy, a.k.a. Nick, a.k.a. Arthur, a.k.a. our #1 fan. Question mark?
Don't say the name. It's going to make his dad threaten him again.
Nah. He's mad at me for that. I can't do it anymore.
But yeah, it's our Sunday game after Christmas. It's our last one of 2020. So small victories, I guess. Yay. Did you guys have a good holiday this last week? Christmas? I think, Hanukkah was already a couple weeks ago, but do you guys have a good Christmas at least?
Yeah, it was super chill.
Super chill. Nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. Same.
Same with us too. So it's very different. Did you guys get any cool D&D related stuff?
Nope.
Aww.
No, but my wife got me some amazing shoes. I'll have to show. I'll have to put a pic up. They're pretty amazing. I'll put it on Twitter.
Okay. Yeah. Speaking of, go follow Rick on Twitter right now.
Okay.
At Hallowed.
At Hallowed. Yeah. And, one of the things we did different on this stream, if you saw the opening cinematic, we changed our opening graphic. So I have, like, splash screens of all the characters that rotate in and out, including, which player's playing it and all of their Twitter tags. So if you were paying attention, you would have gotten Rick's Twitter tag. And if you're a fan that's watching this, I'm assuming you're already following us on social media because you love us. And that's your Christmas present to us.
Steve, I feel like you're really cultivating a parasocial relationship here. Not in a healthy manner.
I'm trying to be unhealthy on social media. It's hard in this world to get anyone to, like, care about you on social media.
Yeah, on social media, yeah.
Oh, that's when you start posting nude photos of yourself.
I thought we wanted people to come to our stream, not go away from our stream. Well, I guess is that how all the other is that what Critical Role did? They just posted nude pics of themselves online, and that's why they got the following?
Exactly.
No.
That's exactly how it went.
Listen, like, I went and picked up food because yesterday was my son's birthday. He's 8. His birthday's the day after Christmas. I feel sorry for him. Normally, I mean, he tried to come out on Christmas. We held him in for an extra day. But normally what we do is we celebrate his birthday, like, early to mid-January, so he doesn't have a birthday party the day after Christmas, because I feel bad doing that to other families, let alone doing it to ourselves. But with everything being so laid back this year, we did a drive-through birthday where the family drove by in cars, and actually the worst thing happened, which is one of his classmates' friends, the mom made the effort to drive over and, like, drive by and say hi, and then as she did a U-turn in our cul-de-sac and went back the other way, she totally, like, sideswiped one of my neighbor's cars.
Yikes.
I couldn't help but feel partially responsible.
Well, it wasn't the U-turn. She decided at the last minute she was going to pull up in the curb, and she just cut right into the truck and just.
That's true.
It was loud. God, it was bad.
And we're all like, "Oh my god, that was so annoying." So, but part of, anyways, the reason I got sidetracked, but that I had to tell you that story because that was, wow. I felt like that was like a reality show, like, scripted moment, just like sideswiping someone's car at a drive-through birthday party. Anyways,
she'll never go to another drive-by birthday the rest of her life, probably.
Especially without thinking about that. And it was also, she was driving her husband's car instead of her own car. So,
oh my god,
yeah,
it just gets worse.
It just keeps getting worse. So, anyways, he told me he wanted to have. I told him you can have anything you want for, like, meals, and he picks this pizza restaurant that's only on 2nd Street in Long Beach, and we're relatively far away. It takes like 20-25 minutes to get there. What's that?
Definitely a smart guy if you're talking about what I'm thinking about.
Well, which pizza place are you talking about? Because there's a lot of pizza places on 2nd Street. There's like Michael's
Continue.
and Rance's and maybe some.
Yeah,
Anyway, the one that he likes, that is our family sort of staple that we've grown up on and we eat all the time, is Domenico's. Is that the one you were thinking of, Rick?
There's so many I can't remember.
Anyways. So there's this very specific pizza. It's like they grind the pepperoni up instead of slicing it and put it on the pizza. And they have this house dressing that you put on and it melts into it. It's delicious. And he's old enough now that he started eating it and he loves it. So anyways, I'm down on 2nd Street. I'm wearing a Critical Role shirt, the Mighty Nine. And I'm picking up the pizza. And this dude like comes up and he picks up his pizza. And he looks over at him and he goes, "Oh, Critical Role." And I was like, "Oh, yeah. Do you watch?" And he just looked at me and walked away.
Dude, maybe he was one of the guys from the show.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe that's why he's pissed off.
He's wearing
like,
a mask.
really?
It'd be hard to tell, right?
Really? That's probably
How could you talk to Matt Mercer like that, Steve?
Oh my god! Wait, I can't wait for the show. They're gonna talk about some idiot. That says, "Hey, do you watch the show?"
If anything, this guy looked closest.
I was going and picking up pizza the other day.
If anything, it was Taliesin. That would be the closest looking hairdo and face. So, if Talison's in Long Beach, I'm sorry, dude. But, you know, we got to get to that level where people are wearing our, like, I got crabs in Avernus shirts.
I really hope no for that specific one, because I would feel partially responsible for whatever happens to them.
Or
But if I
fully
don't-
responsible.
Yeah, partially. What?
Yeah, that's all.
Hey,
All
Steve put the crabs there, okay?
It's like a 50-50 unhealthy relationship on that. Me and you feeding off each other.
Yeah, we're enabling each other's shenanigans.
Yeah.
70-30.
70-30?
Yeah, come on,
In which
Steve, you
direction?
It's definitely in your direction. You're the 70s.
Mm,
Well, yeah. So, anyways, that's why I pander on to get people to follow us on social media, because I want to grow our circle of like influence. So, I like playing with y'all. You guys are a lot of fun, and we're having fun here, even when you cast wind walk on me.
Don't worry, I can only do it 3 more times.
That's
today.
well, it's what, a 6th level spell,
Yeah.
and you have 6. See, I don't even know what like spell slots you guys have at 15. So you have 3 6th level spell slots or 4?
Oh, no. 6, 7, 8. 1 and 1.
Oh, so 1 6 1 7 1 8. Okay,
Yeah.
interesting.
But it's very funny. So I would absolutely be willing to upcast it for no benefit.
That's true.
I'm sure that won't negatively impact the group in any way, shape, or form.
I already said sorry, Jordan.
So that was fun. But alas, we're making the best of it. I got plenty of content that still works, and I like how you guys have, you know, made a contact with like the Thieves Guild of Stygia and like are gonna possibly do a job for them. That's all fun and cool.
Totally.
I wasn't-
Fun.
I wasn't expecting it to go that way, but that's D&D, right? There's 2 kinds of games. There's one where the DM says, "No, you have to do exactly what I say," and there's one where the DM just like tells you guys, "No, it's cool. This is fun. I love seeing what's going to happen," and then goes offline and cries himself to sleep every night. Those are the only 2 like options. I don't think there's a third. Like Matt Mercer just probably cries himself to sleep every night.
At least you get a lot of rest.
Works. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to call out too. So we had one of our viewers in not in our other stream and this one, Kalinga donated like $200 to our Extra Life campaign that was left open from our game day in November, and that was amazing. And it put us over. We had like $910 on the campaign, and originally our goal was $500. And we were so close to 1,000. I really wanted to make that happen. And so what I did is, I guess it's not cheating, but I did the $90 difference to put us at 1,000 because I really wanted to hit that number. So a big part of that is you guys helping out on game day and all this stuff and drawing in the fans. So I want to thank you guys, Alleged5, for helping us make that $1,000 goal. So you guys are awesome.
Yay!
All that
for
money.
setting it up.
Yeah, all that money is going to the Children's Hospital of Los Angeles, and that money is going to be very welcome there. It's not too late. We're not soliciting active donations. It's there. The link's down below us. You can click it and get to our Extra Life campaign if you want to help the kids even more. But I'm wearing the shirt today, so let me stand up and show the shirt on stream. Oh, the green screen kind of messes with it. But we got some, like, Extra Life sent me a T-shirt for reaching, like, one of our milestones. I don't remember what it was, and it came the other day, so I wanted to wear it tonight and remind me to shout out the Extra Life stuff. So very cool, guys. That was a very cool thing. And I looked it up, and we were actually pretty high on the list in terms of like how much money we donated. So most people don't get anywhere near like 1,000 donations, right?
$1,000.
$1,000, and we had 20 donations that totaled to $1,000. So that's an average of like $50 a donation or so.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Some of them were more, some of them were less, but it's
Thanks, everybody.
It's a really good thing. So we were part of the Dungeons and Dragons team, so we were playing, for D&D, and some of the highest ones were all corporate ones. So like, DM's Guild, Wizards of the Coast. A lot of those had like, you look and it's like they raised $30,000, but then when you look, it was like one $30,000 donation from some corporation. For us, we are in the top like 30 teams raising money for D&D. Like we were, Lost Odyssey is one of those streams that was put on by Deborah Ann Wall, I think it was, and stuff, and she does a lot of DMing for them, and they do a lot of cool streams. They raised $1,025, so we're only $25 behind them, and they're all celebrities.
Wow.
Well, you're a celebrity to us, Steve.
Yeah, so I was just checking that out. So that's really cool. So I don't know.
Well, I just want to reiterate the fact that it's not a competition, and it's all about for the children. So congratulations to everyone who participated, and everyone who donated, and everyone who did a good thing with their time.
That's
like Jordan says, F the children, and the F stands for four.
for the children. And I didn't say that. Brian said that. Brian's a dick. I'm sorry about Brian.
It's what your character would say, is what you're saying?
I'm sorry. That level 20 monk is just he's in a time loop. I don't know what you're talking about.
You try spending like, what was it, like 70 years in a time loop, or 700 years?
I think it was 90 years.
90 years. You try spending 90 years in a time loop and see how much you love kids.
Look, Brian let that little girl win the stone skipping contest once, so he's a good person.
So he's won for what, like 28,000 on being a good person every day.
70 years.
My question is, on the time loop, did you let her win the last day before you broke the time loop? Because otherwise, does it really count?
Yep.
How are you going to give him an out like that, Steve?
Well, I mean, I'm saying you would have to like if you didn't know it was going to work that day, right? So you probably let her win more than once. I don't know. Maybe not. Anyways, are you guys ready to play?
I mean, you get to a
D&D
certain point,
tonight?
you're just.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're reminiscing about the past, but we got a campaign here. We are in Stygia now. Interestingly enough, it's been so long since we did a fight. I was, putting together some battle maps that may or may not be needed, but I like to have them ready. And I had to rack my brain to remember the last place your tokens actually were.
Wow.
Because you have tokens on the main page here, but they're not set up correctly with vision and stuff. It was just, they're just placeholders. So I was like, oh God, where are your guys' tokens?
On the battle map with Zario.
That's what I thought, but there was a battle map after that. Who can remember? See, you guys can't remember either. I don't feel so bad now.
Yanogu.
There it is.
Oh yeah, that was
I
the
was
whole
gonna say-
fight.
I was gonna say the last one when I
Yeah.
when I took off with Smiler.
That is right.
Oh, that's right.
Yep.
That was the last
Motorcycle
one.
ride.
It was
I-
like Top Gun all over again.
I had archived it, so I had to go into the archives, unarchive it, go to it, find your tokens, and copy paste them, just so I could test and make sure your visions were set up right, all the lighting was working. But it's been a while since we got into some combat.
Yeah. Did you update mine to 120?
I did. So you took the Eldrit's, was it Devil Sight? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
So I did update yours to have 120 foot of daylight vision, and not just dark vision. So I did update that.
Hey, thanks for the follow, Loophole King. Appreciate that.
Yeah, awesome. Marius was, I think Marius had 120 foot vision for some reason.
Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah, so I bumped that back down to 60 daylight because it's true sight.
Yup.
And everyone else has 60 feet, including I had to add dark vision to Zeke's token.
Yeah, crab eyes can see in the dark. They can see in the nothing too, but not this crab.
Not yet.
The crab and his robot.
I know. I'm still so legitimately surprised and happy that Rick, that you got me the little the Vox Seeker robot crab.
Hey, man. I just had to do it. It was there, and I thought of you, and I was like, this is perfect. So, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Hanukkah, and whatever you celebrate, Mr. Crab.
Yeah,
Crabmas.
and-
There's
You
gotta
knew what I
be,
was going to say before I said it.
there's got to be a Christmas equivalent in the Forgotten Realms. Besides is it just like midwinter?
Winter solstice.
Let's see. I guess they call it the Dead Winter Day, aka Midwinter, and then there's a bunch of different celebrations that happen depending on, what culture you're in.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that makes sense. It's like the big debate, like, what race is Santa? Is he an elf? Is he a human? Is he a gnome? Is he a dwarf?
Is it celestial?
Is he a celestial? There's like good arguments for each race.
Except for how long he's been alive. Then none of those make sense.
Yeah, but like look at like every Forgotten Realms character. They all live like infinitely, right?
I mean, those arguments make sense for like non-long life races if you just consider that it's like Batman. It's a mantle.
He's a large dwarf druid.
Ooh. So he doesn't age.
That's why he lives so
He
long.
can't just be like a fat elf.
No, he's too tall.
How tall is Santa? Like in our world, how tall is Santa?
That's a good question.
How
He's
is-
not real.
No, but I mean, obviously.
Hold on. Let me ring up the
What?
North Pole
Oh.
and ask Mrs. Claus how tall her husband
Gordon,
is.
you
real
know
quick.
they don't get service up there. Stop pulling my leg like this.
Well, they've cut off all communication because of COVID. Because it reached
Over
to the
the
South
phone?
Pole. They don't want it to reach.
Oh, Dr. Fauci
Yeah, they don't
went
want it to
over
reach the North Pole
to
easy.
give Santa his vaccine.
That's true.
Google says 5 feet 7 inches after
That's not
50
important.
years. 50,
Source,
yep.
any source.
Yeah.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
care about the sources.
we say he's tall, right? But like he can climb down a chimney. That doesn't sound like a tall person to me.
He's magic. He can deliver presents to all the good boys and girls of Faerun in a single night.
But he's got to get in the chimney, so they keep him tight.
Why is that?
He could just be a gnome.
He doesn't.
Right?
He's got a portable. No, he's got
Listen,
a portable hole. to
makes
climb.
toys. That sounds like a gnome. Has a long beard. Sounds like a gnome. Can crawl through a chimney. Sounds like a
That's
gnome.
like a no.
No.
It's totally a known
5'8"?
artificer.
No, he's not a gnome. Why does he have elves? What are elves working for gnomes?
No elf has a beard.
How dare you?
That's why his elves do the work.
Have you seen Will Ferrell?
I guess that's true. Is
Have
it?
you seen Will Ferrell?
But
Tell me he can't grow a beard. To my face, right here.
to a layman that saw an elf, aka a gnome, you might look at a gnome and say, "Oh, it's an elf," right? It could just be a mistaken case of people seeing gnomes and thinking they're elves.
Who's
I don't know.
seen Santa or elves?
Wait, so NORAD says that Santa's 5'7" and weighs 260 pounds.
He's a little short fat fuck.
Is he
5'7"?
5'7"?
Isn't
Like-
even really that short, but okay.
Jesus.
What
I
is
mean,
he?
but for almost 300 pounds, like that guy's got to. There's no way.
He's
Well, he's
5'7"
round.
if he lays on
He's
his
round.
back and measures his belly.
Y'all wild. He's got a portable hole. He doesn't go down the chimney. He just puts the portable hole on top of the building, jumps in, does all the stuff, picks up the portable hole, goes.
So he
Certainly
doesn't
got
need
a
to
bag
be
of
2
holding.
feet tall to get through a chimney. We
He's got
agree.
dimension. He's got
With the-
dimension door, right? It just opens it and goes.
Yeah.
He has
Yeah.
3 billion casts of Dimension Door.
Well,
And-
the elves just
and
make
he,
Dimension Door wands all year.
Yeah. And he's got a super bag of holding that is limitless.
But no, it's not a bag of hold things. Specific. It's
No.
very important.
Well, you could probably just have the bag of holding go to like some interdimensional place, and you put the elves in the interdimensional space, and they just hand him the present. And it
Yeah.
just sticks his hands in, right?
It's called the North Pole.
Right. So maybe the North Pole.
That's
is
the
just
name of the interdimensional
its
space.
own dimension. It's its own plane of existence. Huh. Well, we solved the mystery. Except for even we can't agree on what race he would be.
We solved them.
Definitely a gnome
Because he's
artificer.
definitely not real. That's why.
So
Let's
says
play
you.
some D&D.
Nah, let's
I
just
mean-
talk all night.
Let's just discuss what race Santa
What's
is.
not real?
He's
I'll tell you what's
clearly a
not-
crab.
I'll tell you what's not real. My hex crawl.
Feels bad, man.
Did you take the hexes off of it and just make it a normal map?
No, I didn't even do that.
Hey, look, we're going down there to go meet that guy. So
I just
Had you
love it.
watched?
Go ahead.
Had Steve watched the first season of Critical Role,
Yeah.
he would have definitely been prepared. But
hmm
not so much.
I am only a season 2 noob, so that's on me. I don't have another, 400 spare hours to go back and watch season 1. Something
Fair
like
enough.
that. It's a lot of hours. But that's on me. It is on me. But that's okay.
It's 373 hours.
Give or take,
Is that minusing like breaks and stuff?
I just Googled it and someone added up all the episodes
Oh.
and added up the time. Yeah, I mean, that's what happens when you have a high level druid in your party.
I didn't even think that we'd have a high level druid in our party until
Well, no one did.
like 2 months ago.
hmm
I didn't know how to spell Druid until 2 months ago.
Definitely,
I mean, Zeke, clearly.
once crabs were introduced, I totally had a feeling.
I mean, to be honest, I think maybe when I started planning this, you were still a cleric. I guess it probably wasn't that long ago.
Now, we've been planning this for more than 2 months, I think. Me and
That's
Steve.
true,
I
but
definitely had you in on it for like a month before it actually became public because there was never like an opportunity. At that point, I didn't think I was getting greater restoration, and Hal was like feeble-minded, so I really didn't want to bring it up then.
I did. Sorry, I was just trying to
By the way.
get the soundscape background going. I did start doing my first preliminary thoughts about what D&D and Stygia would look like, even before this campaign started, because in my other Avernus campaign, one of the players was a Levistus warlock or a Levistus tiefling, and had aspirations to go to Stygia. So I had said I would put some stuff together to get there, So all of that prep came in handy for here, which is cool. But it wasn't until this campaign where I actually sat down and did concrete sort of rules and stuff. Alright, so the alleged 5, fresh off their arrival to Stygia, spent a good bit of time learning about what bureaucracy actually is, as they proceeded to file very important paperwork at the visitor center and get your official passport stamped to welcome you guys to Stygia. And when you were faced with a vast a lair, which is like a vast ocean covered in floating chunks of ice, icebergs crashing into each other, constantly shifting, a cold wind that cuts you to your core, that makes you feel like you were gonna like freeze your blood and your soul itself is going to be affected. As you looked across this horizon, prepared to walk across it, you guys said, "Nah, that's cool. We got other plans." And you cast Windwalk and turned into a clouds of wind and zipped across the lair at, I think we calculated it to be somewhere in the neighborhood of like 70 miles per hour.
Like 68 point something, yeah.
Pretty close, yeah, pretty close to 70. Zipping around like crazy. You arrived at, you flew around, you saw some sights, you arrived at the city you were supposed to go to. You were looking for a proprietor of a business called the Red Kite, which was Hal's contact. And upon finding the Red Kite, your contact was strung up, gutted, and the word traitor was written in blood across the front of his business, leaving you guys in the cold. A little bit...
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's
A
see
little
what you
bit...
did there.
a little bit of Speak with the Dead allowed you to get a bit of information out of him, but he wasn't super helpful. Just told you that he had a contact, which was the leader of the city, who was going to grant you guys access to a portal. But Tantalin, the city, is very stratified to where you guys aren't even allowed into the inner city to meet with these people, and you're stuck as extraplanar creatures in the outer ring, where you are even treated by the people here as lower than imps. Hard to believe.
How dare they?
But even imps have, like, authority over you guys in the hierarchy. Ava and Hal use their underworld skills to make contact with a Thieves Guild member here that ran a frozen bar, like, you know, everything in the city's carved out ice, and his name was oh man, I closed the window that had his name. I think it was Flint Rock or something.
How could you possibly forget?
Build Rock Shatter Fury.
I said it like 8 times so I wouldn't forget it.
Well, as it turns
It's
out,
more in chat too.
Yeah,
it's like the third from the bottom message.
oh god, it's on my screen. Filled Rock Shatter Fury, a dwarven man who, for a small sum of some gold, was going to put some contacts out and try to see if they can get you contacts with somebody that will allow you to do some sort of job that'll get you in the good graces and maybe allow you to meet the person you're trying to meet. But in true Alleged 5 fashion, you decided not to just wait it out, and you wanted to go explore before your Windwalk ran out. So you shifted back into your cloud form, zipped across the ocean, across the frozen tundra, not even tundras, the frozen glaciers of Stygia, when you found a short, fat, squat Amnesu trying to push a cart very terribly across these ice flows and having a really, really hard time with it, to where you guys like landed and shifted back into your form shortly outside of his, like, you know, immediate ice flow. And when he noticed you guys, he began waving his hands like crazy, trying to get you guys to come over and, you know, talk with him.
When did he notice us?
After you guys landed, and then you, like, I believe you guys went and landed and then shifted back into your forms.
Yeah.
Is that how we ended it?
Takes a minute It takes a minute, I think. Yeah, we just.
Yeah, he's not making
started
very.
back.
He's pushing this cart super slow, so like a minute of him pushing this cart, you know, he's. It's fine that you guys would have that much time to transform.
Yep.
So yeah, so we start there. You guys are on this giant glacier that's like, you know, floating in the water. It's like crashing and like into the other kind of ice around it, and this guy's trying to push the cart in the moment that like the two glaciers are kind of like rubbing in contact with each other and not having his cart fall into the water. His cart, by the way, is a giant sort of safe that sticks about like 5-6 feet off the top of this cart, completely bound over with like iron chains, which I think was one of the things that interested you guys when you saw it. But yeah, how would you guys like to approach this? You guys shift back into your normal forms, and for the first time since you left the city, you can actually talk.
Hi. What brings you here?
Oh, I apologize. I thought you were saying that to your friends. I thought you were saying that to the Alleged Five. I didn't realize that was you talking to him.
No, I'm addressing them, Nizu.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. I'm like sitting here laughing, just waiting for somebody else to say hi back, and it was me.
Hi, Alleged Five.
Hi, Alleged Five.
Hi, guys.
Oh wait, that's definitely not correct. 1 second. Huh. That is not correct at all. Because sorry. Oh yeah, here we go. Okay.
You good?
I had to like find my notes because in my notes it was like saying I only had the name of the guy that was like in charge of the city, and that definitely wasn't the name of this guy. So I was gonna be like, oh, his name. Wait, no, that's not right. So he's waving his hands, right? He's like out of breath and he's panting. He's all, can you? Oh, hi. I didn't realize you were talking to me. I didn't, you know, it's very rude to address a superior without being first addressed. You may not be aware of our customs, so let's start over again. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Perfect. Much better. My name is Kisruk. I've run into a bit of an issue here. And he motions back, and he says, I had like a couple of beasts of burden that were pulling my cart, a couple of bodyguards. They were kind of snatched by some Sahuagin, yanked them down into the water. I bravely fought them off, and would not let them get my safe. But it leaves me in a bit of a pickle here because...
Do I believe him?
Make an insight check. We're in a bit of a pickle here because I really need to get these papers delivered, this safe delivered. It's very, very important. All right.
That's a 24.
Okay.
I don't believe he fought anybody.
Let's see. They... Oh, interesting. They're not trained in deception. That is kind of surprising, actually. Okay. Well, he's very charismatic.
I love that you're having it be a save.
No, it's not supposed to be a save, actually. That's a good point. It would... Oh, yeah, it's way less than that. So, you do not believe for 1 second that he actually fought anything whatsoever. But... the rest of it seems to be on the up and up, that he is in charge of like delivering this safe to somewhere. That all seems on the up and up. But you're 100% sure that like he completely bailed on the group when shit hit the fan and only came back when the coast was clear.
I say that mind to mind to Saul. Just be like, hey, heads up, you might want to be prepared. This guy's an asshole.
I mean, he's a devil. Isn't all devils kind of asshole-ish?
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. So anyways, he taps the side of the cart and he's like, I gotta get this bad boy to Tantalon. It's a tall order, but do you think maybe we could work out some kind of arrangement? You could help me get it there?
Avo looks at like everyone's like, excuse me while we reconvene and discuss.
Sure. I'm just gonna take a quick breather, and he like sits down on the edge of the with his back to the cart, and he pulls like a little like monogrammed handkerchief out and starts dabbing it on his forehead.
Monogram.
Hey guys,
Just has a K on it, a very fancy K.
do we help him?
Maybe we can see what he can get for us, because we're pretty low on soul coins after that bureaucracy, all those papers.
That's not a bad idea.
That's true. We're down to 1.
How much should we try and get this guy for?
Depends on what's in the safe, I think, and how he seems pretty desperate to get this to Tantlan, at least, which is good for us.
Well, he said there was important papers.
Here's the thing. He's the one in need. So we don't come up and talk to him and say, hey, this is what we want in return. We say, hey, we're a little busy. What are you going to give us if we help you? We let him make the first offer.
I like that.
Yep.
That's a
And
good
then we
point.
can counter if we don't like it.
Sure.
How are we? Anyone have any plans on how we're actually gonna move the cart? I could turn us all into animals, but that seems kind of overkill.
I point
Yeah,
at the Pegasus.
Yeah. And then you can just wind walk. Let's go. We'll take him with us. You said you can do up to 10 people, right?
Well, I
Yeah.
think you need to recast again.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
and unless someone's actually physically carrying the safe, I don't think it'll count and be a part of the spell.
We made our way back to Santa Claus after all, guys.
Oh.
Too bad,
Tim,
because
you could wear
that would have really pissed Steven off.
I will say, you look at you look at the amnesia, right? He has on his back, he has 2 wings, but like the size of the wings against the size of his body, they like look like they would be, a struggle for him to actually fly. But perhaps he can fly on his own. Maybe not quite as fast as you guys.
I mean,
This is
I don't
again
see
what
much
amnesia
risk
looks
to us unless we're concerned about the Sahu again, or like being attacked because we're with him and whatever cargo he has. I'm trying to think of ways this can go wrong, and actually, I'm coming up relatively short considering. I point
All the
my
stuff
arms
we've
around.
gone through.
Yeah, all the stuff we've gone through, the awful terrain here.
I would say the biggest thing to point out from where you guys are to Tantalon, it's like without the aid of like magic, it's quite a few days of like pushing this cart across the ice. You know what I mean?
Well,
Because if you can move 3 hexes in a day, and we're already mostly through this day, then it would take you basically 3 days of not having any issues to do it, because you guys met this guy pretty far away. So whether or not that would be the biggest downside I can see is how far you guys actually are from the city, unless you can find some way to speed it up.
well, it doesn't fit in the bag of holding. Otherwise, I'd offer to carry it.
Couldn't couldn't you levitate it?
Does anyone have a levitation spell?
I mean, I don't know what the. I look at Zeke and kind of shrug and say, I don't know what the limitations are. We just know that you can do things like that, or maybe in you, Morthos.
No, I don't have levitation.
A lot of my magic is specifically tied to nature, and that's not a normal thing in nature necessarily. It doesn't exclude it, but it's not something I can do. Yeah, I think about the most useful I can be here is turning most or all of us into animals to help pull the thing easier. But
I don't want to be an animal.
It's not that bad, Ava.
For you, maybe. For me,
Yeah.
I think.
So you guys are having this little powwow, and he's like, "Is this gonna take much longer? We still got a long way to go."
Yeah. We're getting to it.
I yell over, how long would this take, do you think? A couple days?
Depends on how, depends on your skills. If we're talking about me, a couple of months maybe. You guys, I'm sure you can knock it out in a few days.
What?
I look at Morthos and I say, have you used your highest level spell today?
I have not.
We could plane shift to the material plane, and then after a long rest, plane shift back at the city in the morning.
I thought there was some issues plane shifting into different layers of hell.
Well, we're here now and we have the papers, so technically we have the permission now. It's all about contracts, right? And I pull the papers out of my bag. This is our contract. We are registered with this layer now.
We are, but we were told that we can only plane shift to
Avernus.
Avernus and then have to go down. We'd have to go through the whole thing again.
That's what I remember as well.
Yeah.
To be clear, Marius is onto something here, where it was told anyone gets access to Avernus. It's kind of a catch-all. Anyone's welcome. Visitors are welcome. You can't go to direct layers without the permission from the layer that the leader of that layer.
Which we don't have direct permission from him, but we do have the paperwork. So maybe Marius is wrong here, but Marius feels like this is that paperwork that would allow them to do that in the future.
It's definitely a possibility.
But if we're wrong, then we can't get back. So that is a big problem.
Yeah, because we don't have soul coins for passage again. I think it's definitely a good idea to keep. In our back pocket for the future, but
I'm also double checking the spell description, and I don't think you can plane shift objects.
That's why we shove it down his throat.
Bend over, Amnesu.
No.
Actually,
just the way Tyler said that.
The interesting thing is, if you found a creature large enough to swallow it, you could just plane shift the creature.
What if one of us was a creature large enough to swallow?
Then now we're getting somewhere.
Okay. I'm not saying we should do this.
You summon the dinosaur.
Do
the dinosaur eats it.
Steve, you think we have to summon the dinosaur? I can become the dinosaur.
Right, that's true.
Come on.
A brontosaurus can't really eat a safe.
Well, what about a T-Rex?
Yeah, what's CR15 get me? Pretty much every beast that isn't a Tarrasque, I imagine.
Beasts CR caps at a pretty low level, that's the thing.
I think it's the highest you can go is Tyrannosaurus.
Possibly. I think the only higher beast is Traxagor, but then that doesn't really count for polymorph purposes.
There are two gargantuan beasts, Brontosaurus and Sperm whale.
Sperm whale.
That would work.
Has a pretty small.
I don't know. Oh yeah, actually, sperm whales.
They can only eat very small creatures, though. Whales.
I mean,
It doesn't need to be in my stomach. I just needs to be in my mouth.
I guess the other thing is, right, if you're carrying the object, if you're a big enough creature to lift the safe and hold it, and then plane shift, it would be like any carried or worn equipment you had, right?
Exactly. Yeah, that's why I was saying we just need to get something big enough to put it on its back, which is an elephant or a brontosaurus or anything like that.
Or a sperm whale with like 200 feet of rope.
Then we got to hold the flippers in a circle.
It's a fun idea and it's a fun thought experiment to figure out, but I will just put it out there, like there's no way he's letting you plane shift his important delivery to like another plane of existence and back, like random strangers he just met. Like he would rather spend the months it takes to push it himself than to have it leave this place, because it's against the law to like have that, like to not have it filed properly, you know, to leave the plane without being filed.
That's fair.
Well, I don't have anything.
No, you could totally do it against his will and just overpower him and take it and steal it and then teleport it there. But he's not going to be he's not going to go along with that plan, basically.
well, could we possibly or how do I phrase this? Can Zeke polymorph into a sperm whale, swallow it, and then turn into his wind form, because that's not concentration, and then fly back over to Tantalon?
Oh, that is not
Holy
concentration.
shit.
You're right.
Holy shit.
You thought we had to engage with your encounter table?
I mean,
I really would like to get into combat, but maybe that does sound like
is
a pretty
pretty
damn
epic.
good plan, Brianna.
that's a good plan. Interesting. So we
Listen, hold on, Steve.
Yeah.
I just want to make a mark on this moment so I can go back later on the Twitch stream and YouTube to hear you say that is a really good plan.
It is a really good plan.
Yeah.
Like
we should have found out what he's going to give us before you said that, though.
yeah, that's true. So the plan, just to recap, the plan is to shift into a sperm whale
Yes.
and then eat the safe, so it's in your
Yes.
body.
No, just in his mouth. He
Yeah,
doesn't actually have to
it doesn't
swallow
fit
it.
down his throat.
That's
Remember?
true. It's just in your mouth, and then shift into your windwalk form.
Fly
and
to
fly
the city.
over to the city.
Yep.
And
Drop
then, like,
it in front
come
of the
back,
city, and then unconcentrate on the spell.
Yeah.
You can do it willingly.
How?
Shift back willingly.
Yeah. How long can you stay in beast form? Is this polymorph or is this your wild shape?
I don't think my wild shape can't hit
This
the
would be
high sea
polymorph,
level.
right?
Polymorph is
Okay. So that's why you wild shape into something that can just pick it up.
But like
But then we have to walk.
Actually, polymorph is an
No,
hour.
no.
So
No, because when we change into fog
Oh,
form,
it's
all of
true.
our gear also goes with us. So all you have to do is is wild shape, because that's more hours, into something that can pick up the safe, and then we go.
what's my wild shape at? CR2.
But also, like, just measuring the distance between you guys and Tantalon, it's basically you can get there within an hour. Because it's, basically it's between 56 and 64 miles, which we've already established that's your miles per hour speed. So this plan could get you there using polymorph within an hour. It would absolutely work.
Okay, what's a CR1? I don't think CR1 beast has enough strength to pick up this
Giant ape. What are you talking about? Giant ape.
CR1 wild shape.
Great bait. Let's do it.
Yeah, giant ape.
Giant ape is not CR1. What are you on, Jordan?
Giant apes are CR7.
Did you think we turned Smiler into a CR1 creature?
I mean, that's why he didn't last very long.
How dare you? Let's see.
So the good news is polymorph would
He was only
definitely work.
Donkey Konging on that motorcycle for what, 2 rounds?
Yeah, but he was
To be
a CR7
fair, a lot of
creature.
people were wailing on them.
So I'm searching on D&D Beyond for CR1 huge and gargantuan beasts. Just see what comes up.
There's nothing for huge or gargantuan for CR1.
Nothing comes
But
up.
I mean, it still would only take an hour. So I don't think I think polymorph would be fine for this.
Sure. But now here's the challenge. You have a plan, and now you got to convince this guy to let you eat his safe and carry it there.
Just holding it in his mouth, and it doesn't have to be the sperm whale. We can just turn you into a giant ape. Like, it doesn't have to be that complicated.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I'm just saying it's going to be. You're gonna have to convince this guy to let you do that.
Well, do you want to be there in an hour, or do you want to be there in 3 days?
Yeah, it sounds like a really good argument.
Sir.
Or by
But what's to
himself,
stop
make
you
him
from
a
taking the
month.
safe and windwalking and just running away with it forever?
Because he's windwalking too. We're casting the fucking spell again.
You're gonna cast the spell again? Oh.
Well, or leave him here? That doesn't make any sense.
Mr. Amnesu, sir, I forgot your name already. Chris Kisrek?
Kisser, yes.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel.
Chris Angel. He's doing card magic, like, right while he's waiting for you guys.
I didn't see his moppy head of black shoulder-length hair and his weird jacket before, but now that you mention it, he's not Santa Claus, is he?
He's doing a levitation trick, which is like a crane holding him off camera and pulling him up, and you guys can totally see the crane.
Yeah, this isn't being filmed with a camera. We're standing right here.
He's got a camera. He's got a camera.
Wait,
No,
how
his
many?
hamburger got swallowed by the Suhu again.
Oh yeah, they were
It's just
filming
the
a
intern
special.
who's operating the crane.
All his raw footage is in the safe. That's what he's still trying to get back to town.
Mr. Kisrek,
Oh yes, yes. So do we have a deal?
what are you willing to offer us?
Well, I'm a very important person, so having me as a political ally could go really, really far.
You see in the background, Marius is doing the jerk off motion as he's talking.
Can I do an insight check to see if he's actually a very important political person?
Yeah, give me an insight check.
Yeah, I'm doing that 100% too.
For sure.
Not bad.
27. Not bad.
Natural 2.
27.
Natural 2. So 9 for Marius. Marius buys it hook, line, and sinker. Ava, with the 27, like,
Still,
you believe that he believes what he's saying.
So, not an important person.
I mean, he thinks he's important. That's all. You wouldn't like know beyond what he thinks himself. But he's not trying to pull one over and like trying to make himself seem more important than he is. He genuinely thinks he is a very important person.
That's why he was stuck with this job, naturally. Because this is such an important...
He's like, if you'd rather have something more concrete than just political favors, then that could be arranged.
could you get us into the inner ring to talk to the head honcho in the city?
Oh, of course,
What's his name?
absolutely.
I look at the group. What's his name?
Matano.
Matanu.
Yeah, I
Bless you.
of course I could do
He said
that.
he said absolutely. Do I believe that?
I mean,
I'm not just going to take this man at his word.
make the roll. Make the
Zeke
insight.
absolutely is.
Of course I roll 7.
14. Yeah, you believe him. He doesn't appear like. Again, you believe that he believes what he's saying. Whether or not he can actually pull
Have you ever
through,
met?
you don't know. But he doesn't seem to be.
Have you ever met Matan? Spoken with him?
Of course, we play golf together every spring.
I
There's no
look with a
spring
raised
here.
eyebrow towards
No.
Ava.
No golf.
Plays golf during the spring.
Stygia.
All right.
No, but what he says is like, yeah, we he's an important man. I'm an important man. Important men tend to get together and have our own social visits. I've met him at dinner parties.
Do I believe it? Of the 17?
You do.
Okay. Or do I know that he believes he actually did that?
Yeah, like you believe, like I mean, if he was telling an outright lie, that would be pretty easy to pick up on. I mean, 17 is not the highest, but you're trying to see, can you see through this guy telling any lies? And he does not appear to be lying to you guys. He appears to be being straightforward with you guys. Whether he can... He's not telling you any lies unless he's lying to himself, you know what I mean?
Got it.
Dang, that's deep.
Like, if you dropped a zone of truth on him, he probably would still be saying the same thing, you know what I mean? But he could be lying to himself.
Okay, guys. Well, Kisrick here seems like he's checking out.
Chrisick, we have a plan, but involves a bit of magic. Here's the thing. We can leave you here, and you can take the months that you said it's going to take you to get to the city. Or we can do a little bit of magic. One of us will pick up your safe, and then we will cast a spell on all of us, including you, and we will be at the city within an hour.
Oh, wait, no. Well, I mean, Kisrick here can also be with the safe in Zeke's mouth.
What?
Why are we still on this? I thought it was going to be a giant ape and just pick up the safe. Why are you making this worse and harder to convince him?
Personally, I think the idea of a sperm whale eating a safe is very funny.
No, let's
Not
be
that a
real here,
giant ape
Tyler.
cares.
You've been trying to change into a sperm whale for about 14 episodes.
I have been a druid for about that length of time, yes.
And all I've heard is sperm whale that, sperm whale this.
Maybe I can go back to Mordenkainen and get become like a crab, sperm whale, human,
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
triple threat.
I mean, it would probably just be crab and sperm whale, no human left. And then you're just our mascot.
That's what you can use for the token on the hex screen.
This Kisrick is a little confused. He's like, so wait, can you be more specific on this plan?
Alright. There are
Okay.
two versions of this plan. Marius will tell you the inferior version of the plan.
Okay, so let's hear the superior version.
The superior version is that Zeke here, Alpha gestures to Zeke, polymorphs into a sperm whale.
You can see him giving you like a head to toe once over.
Now,
They do a little crab
Zeke
dance.
will open his mouth, and you and the safe will go into the mouth. Then, Zeke will use his magic to windwalk all the way over to Tantalin. Once we are there, he will become a sperm whale again out of his windwalk form, allow you to exit with the safe, and then unpolymorph back into his
Zeke.
that form, this form right now. That way, we get the safe and you over to Tantalin in an hour at most.
I see. Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh god.
It's going to be a 1 or a 20.
You don't have advantage.
Oh, shit.
That's a natural 3.
That's a natural 3 for 15. You're still pretty persuasive, but he's like, And he turns his attention to you, Marius, and he's like, and the inferior, with air quotes, plan?
It's inferior because we would have to give up more in order to do the inferior plan. It would cost us in magical ability because Zeke, instead of his amazing sperm whale form, would then change into a creature like a dinosaur or maybe a giant ape and be able to pick up your safe and hold it after he casts his spell that allows us to windwalk on yourself, so that way you can join us. You would have more agency, but it would cost us because we'd have to give up more of our magic. And then him holding your safe, we all change into windwalk form together and we fly over. Now this might be more comfortable for you because you won't have to be inside of the mouth of a whale,
and then as a sperm whale, yes,
yeah,
of course.
and then have to, once inside, be then turned into a gas form inside of a sperm whale and then deposited elsewhere from that sperm whale's mouth once we get back to the city. You have more agency, you have more control, but then it's more strenuous to us. So instead of just, introducing us to the head honcho in the city and allowing us to go in there and have an audience with him, maybe it's that plus 1 or 2 soul coins.
1 each.
One each if you can afford it. I mean, you seem like a very rich and important individual, so I wouldn't be surprised if you could.
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on, roll good.
Roll a 4. Roll, so it's a total of 14. Damn it!
Nice.
So he listens to you lay the plan out, and he's like nodding line. He's like, okay. He like looks back and forth between
and I get
you
to the soul
and
coin
Ava,
part.
right? Yeah, the soul coin part is like kind of like definitely like a bit of a stickler. So he says, I do agree that your plan is we will now refer to your plan as the superior plan. And the aforementioned plan will now be referred to as the inferior plan, one that doesn't involve me getting eaten by a sperm whale.
You're not even eaten. He's not gonna swallow. He's in gas form.
Yeah, he's very clear about his comfort level. He does not swallow.
I do have to say,
I hate this.
we do have a small issue. This safe is currently bolted to this really big, heavy sled. I do not have the keys. The keys were sent ahead to the city. So whatever form is going to pick this thing up has to pick up the sled and the safe.
Can I go over to the sled and just kind of like... I know I'm not going to be able to pick it up. Can I just like do a strength check to like gauge how heavy it is?
Sure. Go.
I mean, little known to all of us, Zeke used to be a civil engineer before he joined the party, so this is going to be a very easy check for him.
Yeah, I added up my proficiency bonus, actually.
Yeah, he adds +10 to his civil engineering skill check.
Why don't you give me... Like, are you just going to go over and, like... Do you want to, like, look at it and try to do mental calculations? Or do you want to try to, like, push it and see, like, how heavy you can gauge based on pushing it?
Well, mental calculations definitely sound like it would work better. But I do kind of want to just push it and see how much it takes, if I can even move it at all.
Give me an athletics check.
All right, sweet. I get to add my +2. Wait, hold on. I get to... No, never mind. Here we go, athletics. 18.
So you put a lot of, like, back into it and a lot of, like, strength, and you push it, and on the ice and the way that the blades are kind of cut into the ice, it gives it the least amount of friction possible. You're able to get it to move better than the Amnesu himself was moving it across the ice. But it definitely weighs, like, a lot. Like, it's not, like, easy for you. Like, you estimate that, like, this thing must weigh in the neighborhood of, like, a couple thousand pounds.
Okay, I'm going to turn back to the group with my findings. Say,
Not
guys...
quite as heavy as an Infernal War Machine, but maybe about the weight of, like, a motorcycle, like an Infernal motorcycle or something.
Gosh, we might be able to do this with a War Machine. Good to know. I'll turn back to the group. Okay, guys.
But so he does say this. But maybe we can make... Can I make a counter offer? A plan that doesn't involve me being eaten or turned into anything that won't waste your resources. I am more than capable of getting myself to the city if I am not burdened with this sled.
All right.
So if you were to agree to make this delivery on my behalf and have it waiting for me when I arrive on my own means of transportation, then we could square up a contract upon which when I arrive and my safe is delivered, I can provide you with, let's call it 3 soul coins.
And the audience?
And I will... he's like, I will, within the best of my ability...
Wow. Do we need,
Put you in
Imp
contact
Willie
with
here?
Matanu.
Do we need Imp Willie here to get this contract set in stone? I assume
There's
he
like
will
a
be able to
popping
pay
noise.
for
Like,
the-
you need a
for the
lawyer?
notary. Yeah.
Hey, Willie, how you doing?
Yeah, he's paying.
Like, he's like, well, yes, in this method where you take my safe out of my possession, we would definitely need a formal contract drawn up.
Yeah, see.
I am more than capable of drawing up my own contracts, but if you'd rather have a neutral third party, I am okay with that.
So when you say you seem less confident than before when you phrase it specifically that you'll grant us an audience with to the best of your ability. That makes it sound like you can just try and then give up and you have fulfilled your end of the contract.
He like looks at you and he like narrows his eyes and he's like, I would not make a contract that relied on somebody else willing to take a meeting with you. If Matanu refuses to meet with you, I surely should not be held responsible for that. I can put the request in, but if he denies it, then that's hardly seems fair to me.
Good.
That's why I am worried about putting that in. We have to find a way to word it. Like, as long as I, under my best effort, try to get you guys an audience, that should be enough to fulfill our contract. Maybe we could. Here's my counteroffer. I will pay you because, you know, you obviously are a mouthy bunch. I will pay you 2 soul coins, and if I cannot make the meeting happen, that would trigger a new clause in which I provide the extra missing 3 soul coins to bump the total payment up to 5 as previously requested.
Gonna turn back to everyone. I feel good about that. This isn't, so long as we are careful with the clauses. I don't think we're gonna get screwed out of anything here.
We should probably read it very closely, though, or someone should.
Yeah. I mean, how awkward would it be if, you know, like one of the downsides if we don't do our end is that we have to give up our left hands. Like that would then I would just show up and be like, now I gotta choose.
There's like a silence as you say that, and everyone is just like refusing to make eye contact with you, Zeke. And then, you know, Kisrick is like, so shall we start drawing up the contract?
If no one has any objections, then that sounds good to Zeke.
I'm sure you guys have some prior experience in the transportation and delivery industry.
Very similar, actually. Yes, we've transported heavier objects than this across almost all of Avernus, honestly, at this point.
He's kind of so he you know, he has Imp Willie start drawing up the contract as he explains the terms, like he explained to you guys, and Imp Willie's scribing, and then he says, like, maybe it's not my place to ask, but why do you seek this audience in the first place?
That's none of your business.
That's fair. If you don't want to state your business, I don't want to know. I'm just... Fair enough. And he stops asking, like, you know. And so, like, Imp Willie scribes, and he comes up with this contract that states the same, all the stuff that, you know, Kisrick had talked about. And Kisrick, like, looks it over, and he, like, nods, and he seems happy with it, and he says, which one of you wants to review and sign?
We could all review it, imagine.
Alva looks at the rest of the group who can read Infernal, besides Marius.
Ooh.
Yeah, can we all take a gander at that, or are we just...
I'll take a look at it.
Yeah, so basically, I always allow, like, as a whole group for like 2 people to take a look. So whether that's one person providing the help action, if they're trained in it, or 2 people doing checks. So you guys decide how you want to handle that.
It's a check.
It would be an investigation check.
I am proficient.
Yeah, I think it was Hal and Morthos that, in whatever configuration, you two were the ones doing the investigation.
Already get
check.
advantage. Yep.
Nice.
You already get advantage? Okay.
Yes.
So Morthos take a roll and Hal take a roll at advantage, right? I think that's how we were doing it before.
Yep.
All right, give me your guys' investigation checks. You're pretty good at reading contracts. 22 for Hal, not bad, not bad. Okay. So, Morthos, you do like a once over on the contract. Everything seems to be in order, right? The terms are that you have to deliver this safe and cart without any sort of like damage to the contents and without accessing or, peeking. You're hired to just make sure to transport it from here to the city of Tantalin. And that's like the basics for what it needs to happen. And payment is to be 2 soul coins upon delivery, along with a meeting with Matanu. And if such a meeting cannot be procured, then an alternative payment of an additional 3 soul coins will be provided. And, it's very, very deep, very layered, complex language. And everything seems 100% on the up and up with you, Morthos, and you don't see anything that would make you worry about the contract, right? It's not being written up by the Amnesia. It's been written up by a third party. Everything looks cool. Okay. But how? As you're looking it over, you notice that there is a clause here, which is basically what happens if the goods are not delivered and if they are not damaged. And basically the contract states that for every for every object or for every piece of cargo that doesn't make it, you are responsible for paying back 1 soul coin. Morthos missed that, but you picked it up.
Seems like, I mean, if you're just going to go with us and we're going to go straight there, it doesn't seem like, or you're not going with us. Well, if you're not going with us, then I'd ask you to redline this part here where it talks about that we would have to pay you a bunch of stuff if it never made it there for each piece, etc., etc.
Well, surely there should be some penalty for you not upholding your end of the bargain. Clearly, I added this very gracious clause that if I'm not able to provide a meeting, I have to provide you soul coins. So what's to keep you from just taking my safe?
You going with us?
So we're back to the superior plan.
Alva's pouting in the corner.
If you would rather
hold on.
Use your spell slots to do that, and you're not comfortable with this clause, we can discuss terms. Yes?
Here's my question. How do we know that as it is now it's completely intact? Because you left what sounds like a very dangerous situation. How do we know that everything's actually in there and you're not shifting the blame because you lost something and you want to shift that blame to someone else before you get back to the city? Like, how do we know that everything is actually in the safe, or that it's not messed with, or that it hasn't been damaged in your escape from the dangerous Sahuagins who attacked your companions? Like, it
does
could
he have a bill of material or
well, we can't, according to the contract, according to what Morthos said, we can't even look in it to see that it's all there. Like, we're just taking goods that could already be damaged, that could already be missing.
Maybe we should look at it beforehand and do that based on what's already in there. I mean, I'm sure Ava could open this thing.
I could definitely try. And she's like eyeing the safe with very With a glint in her eye.
Yeah, and you say that, and you say like, I could try, and I could open the safe, and you look at it, and now he's like looking at the contract and looking at you guys as a group, and realizing he's about to put this whole safe in your hands, and he's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Maybe we need to rethink this whole deal completely.
Maybe you should go with us.
Yeah. The whole idea was you went with us, so then there wasn't any concern about us making out with it or not.
You don't have to be in my sperm whale mouth. I think that was a miscommunication that kind of got.
That was the
carried through.
inferior plan.
Well, yeah, because you would be in a sperm whale's mouth. That sounds very inferior. I agree, but you don't have to do that. You can just be a cloud.
In which case, if we go with that method, that's fine. And we can eliminate the clause of repayment for each missing or damaged item, and we can just say that you agree to make sure the safe itself is delivered. And we'll just lump it all and say, if the safe is not delivered, and it should be because I'll be with you, but if you try to pull a fast one, maybe we just come up with like a flat fee here, like a 25 soul coin flat fee if the safe is not delivered.
Do we even need the contract if you're coming with us? I mean, really?
Imp Willie is looking really sad.
Good.
Like, oh, but I worked so hard on this contract, and he's just like,
I mean, maybe we should just go back to Tantalon. Takes about.
I must
45
insist.
minutes.
I must insist on a contract.
Such a pain in the butt.
Yeah, there's nothing keeping me from just leaving this guy and walking away, other than the like payment or the political favor that he may or may not be able to provide. But in my position, surely you must understand, I need some insurance. I don't know you, so unless you're planning to pull one over on me, I don't see what the big deal about signing this contract is.
It sounds like you're just perfectly comfortable taking 2.5 months to get where you get. There's no, you arrive early, if you arrive late, you get any bonuses or anything like that.
Here's my thing. We just came from Avernus, which I'm sure you're aware of. And one thing we learned up there, I know, right? Just so dry. One thing we learned up there was when the person you make a contract with dies, then the contract is null and void. So if you really were concerned, the contract's not actually going to help you, right? Like, how is a contract going to help if see, here's the thing. We got Empwilly here, a third party, non-interested person who's just looking to make a soul coin. Good for you, capitalism, yay, yay, whatever. But here's the thing. If we just wanted to take this from you, which all of a sudden you're concerned about, we could have just killed you before even speaking to you. Like, if we really wanted this stupid safe, whatever's in it, what we really want is the audience and the soul coins. So you should rely on our greed rather than some piece of paper that doesn't really mean anything, because if we kill the person that we made the contract with, it's null and void anyway. Like, this contract that you seem to want to have to protect yourself is a false security blanket. Just come with us. We take you to the city. We get our soul coins in the audience, and you get to not be out here for 2.5 months. You're making this more complicated than it needs to be.
You're totally like. First of all, like, he's got the vapors, right? And he's like fanning himself with his handkerchief. He's like, first of all, to say that a contract is meaningless is not actually going to protect me. That's like, you are so wrong. You don't even know. Like, if you killed me, that would be illegal, and that would you would be in big trouble. Like, these papers, these are very important to making sure everything goes here. If you were to strike me down for no reason, how do you think Levistus would take that? Do you think he would sit idly by while you come here and disrupt the balance? No, I don't think so.
Oh shit, balance.
Oh no.
So, yeah, back to the balance. So he's like, no. Killing me may... I don't even know I'm not even worried about you killing me. Like, where did this come from? I was not worried about you killing me until you opened your mouth and assured me that you were not going to kill me. And now I realize you're sitting there considering it. So that's already putting me on the defensive. I am sorry there. You look like an angel, I know, but you never trust an angel.
Because you're the one assuming that we're trying to screw you out of the safe or the contents of the safe.
I assume everyone is always trying to screw me at all times, and that's why I've gotten to where I am. Like, let's just say, hypothetically, you were sent here by my rivals to make sure that my safe does not arrive as expected. Perhaps the Sahuagin attack was orchestrated as part of the same conspiracy. And then I give you my safe without a clause for any sort of payment back to me, and then you take that to my rival, who then destroys the safe, and I'm left on the hook.
If we wanted to take the safe, we wouldn't have been talking to you. We would have just taken the safe. We don't care about the safe, Kisruk.
Or the contents.
We really just want to talk to a dude in a city.
Well, if you want what you want, then I want what I want. Sign the contract, or you can find your own way.
How are you acting like you have the leverage here? I don't... Listen, it's brave, I think.
I understand as a mortal, 2 months might sound like a long time to you. I have eternity. Whatever.
I want to turn around and pull out. Actually, I want to turn around and use one of my wild shapes for the day on what's it called, Wild Companion.
Oh, okay.
To basically cast the Find Familiar spell.
That's the new Tasha's feature, right?
Yeah, the Tasha's feature. Basically, you can use Find Familiar instead of Wild Shape with those uses. Let's see if I can pop this in. Great. I'm gonna use that to.
So here's my question, because I never thought about that until this moment, right? Does it still take the hour casting time?
Oh, it doesn't say.
I don't know.
Faster.
Because it lets you. Does it let you cast Find Familiar, or does it say just like yeah? What is the? Okay, so let me just read
the cast the Find Familiar spell. Does that take a full hour?
Find Familiar is an hour casting time.
Oh, never mind.
So I think based on that, I think yes, it would still take a full hour to summon a creature, but that makes it less cool, doesn't it? Am I crazy? What do you guys think? Raw, do you think that takes the full hour?
Raw, it absolutely does.
Think so?
Because it's just I get to cast the spell, but that spell takes an hour to cast. In that case, let me just pull some stuff out of my bag of tricks until I get a crab. I just want to get a crab, give it to him as a pet, as like collateral.
Oh god. I mean, his terms, for him to trust you guys at all, right? He's going to require someone to sign this contract. If nobody's willing to do that,
or he just comes with us and
fine.
He doesn't have to sign. I don't understand it.
You don't understand the mind of a devil, like a crazy, like conspiracy-minded devil. Like that's true, but like he absolutely is insisting, and he is perfectly content to like let you guys find your way, and keep pushing the cart the way he is, until he gets there.
I'm trying to find something I can give to him as collateral for like, if we try to steal your stuff, you can keep this. But
well, it's in the contract, right? 25 soul coins.
Yeah, but we don't have 25 soul coins.
Well,
that's why
neither did most people that were forced into servitude at Mahadi's Wandering Emporium.
It's not his emporium anymore, by the way.
That's true. It's not.
Outdated information down here in Stygia, but it's fresh off the presses.
So,
I have a bunch of gemstones you can take as collateral.
I really don't think there's I mean, you might be able to come up with something, and I could be wrong, but I can't think of anything right now that he would be willing to accept. Because in his mind, if you're not willing to put up this, like, sign the contract, which for you guys, signing a contract is like this big deal, right? You have terrible histories with contracts, but for this dude, it's a daily occurrence. This is like signing a credit card receipt to him. You know what I mean? Like it's just something that is part of his daily life.
Okay, Kisrak, how about this? If you'll change that clause from the contents being safe and in good condition to just the contents being in the same condition as when the contract was signed, I'll sign it. We can go to the city, we can go to Tantlin, and within an hour we can be done with this.
If that's what you would feel comfortable with, I'm comfortable with that change. That way neither one of us can screw the other one over. I appreciate that.
Yeah, that we're accepting goods as they are now, and that's what we're going to be judged against. What we accept, not however they were when you left wherever you came from.
Yeah, okay. That works for me. But just know we can't inspect them because, you know.
You don't have the key, do you? I
don't have the key. It's sent ahead, but the contents of this was very detailed. Inventory back where my outpost, and so we can use that as the reference point. The contents have to match whatever the contents were when they left there. Well, no, I guess that doesn't work, does it?
Nope.
Whatever the contents were.
Let's just ignore the contents. Let's just say the safe itself arrives, and we'll leave the contents being in good condition out of it completely. If that's your sticking point,
unopened, so that way we can't screw you out of whatever travel papers or whatever were in there.
I'm good with that deal.
Man, what if that thing's full of soul coins?
This whole time, Morthos.
Time, guys. I'm trying to be good, and then you guys start getting the best.
This whole time, Morthos was so quiet, and then they're like finally finalizing the deal, and Morthos leans over into someone's ear and says, "What if it's full of soul coins?"
It's a little too loud. So Kipper hears it.
Who did you say that to, actually?
I just said it. I don't know.
Just out loud?
Next to me.
So I guess
no, I didn't say it out loud. I would have. Just...
It's funnier if you like him and Zeke are about to have like a handshake deal, and like they all stop and like
I probably would have said whoever's sitting next to me. I would have probably said it just so they could hear me.
So they make the changes to the contract, right? They strike out that portion that you talked about. And there no longer is the contents of the safe important. The only thing that matters is delivery of the safe.
Okay,
but he wants to. He is. For this deal, because we're not working the contents of it in, he's insisting on staying with you guys and using the Windwalk spell like you propose, so that he can keep an eye on it, so you're not gonna like take it somewhere, pilfer it, and then still deliver it, right?
Yep, sure thing.
Then he's fine with that.
So if that's the contract, Zeke will go ahead and sign that.
Okay.
And then, I guess I can't make Windwalk go, like, I can't stop concentrating on it, but I assume I could just like refresh it.
Yeah, you'd definitely be able to refresh it.
You cast Windwalk with a 7th level spell slot.
So there is a macro for like what shape contracts come in. So let's see your contract form.
If this is another obsidian pillar, I swear to Zariel.
So as you guys agree on like the paper contracts and like you are like gonna agree to sign it, the Imp Willie goes, okay, wait, first I need a soul coin, and then the Amnesia goes into his pocket and hands over like a soul coin for like, you know, facilitating this contract. And as he does, the Imp basically begins like chanting like and doing his little like notary book or whatever, and a portal opens, and a humanoid bound in chains with its eyes and mouth sewn shut stumbles through the portal and like kneels, like he's kind of bound, and he like kneels on the ground in front of you, and Imp Willie goes over and like forces him to turn so you can see the back, and the terms of this deal like you guys have laid out are carved into this guy's back. And so he hands a dagger over to Kisrak, who comes over and carves his name into this dude's back at the bottom. And then he hands the knife handle over to you, Zeke.
Gonna, as lightly as possible, with like just a very like surface, like paper cut thin Z.
Give me a sleight of hand check.
No! Okay. Nat 20. Second in a row!
Sleight of claw.
Yeah, I renamed it.
Perfect. Yeah, so you in the very least amount possible to make sure your name is visible without hurting this dude, you do it so delicately. It's whatever you set out to do, exactly how it happens. And the Imp Willie's like looking over and he's like, well, I guess that counts. You sure you don't want to like get in there? It feels good.
Imp Willie, I'm gonna give you 60 ball bearings to stop talking.
He goes, all right. And he takes the dagger back from you and he waves his hand and like the whole humanoid that's bound like disappears and is like it's banished like somewhere, like there's like a pop and it disappears and Imp Willie gives a little tip of his hat and he pops away and you've signed another contract, Zeke.
Yay.
So Kisrek's like, okay, so let's do it.
Okay, so we're going to cast Windwalk on all of us, Kisrek included.
Right. That
And
refreshes it so it would last another 8 hours for you guys.
Right. Then I'm going to polymorph...
Wait, you don't have a 6th level spell slot. Does that mean you're using a 7th level spell slot for this?
Yes.
Got it. Okay.
Then I'm going to polymorph myself into specifically... I'm not doing this to be stupid. Specifically a sperm whale.
Okay.
So I'm not sure if other animals would be strong enough to physically carry it. But for a sperm whale, all we need to do is slide it into the sperm whale's mouth.
Yeah, you can go over to the edge of this large like iceberg that's kind of like there and like beat yourself a little bit so the whole ground tilts, and then everyone else can kind of guide it into your mouth.
Yep.
Now I'm curious. I'd have to Google like what is a sperm whale's mouth? Is it like they don't just have like the baleen, do they?
Baleen? I don't know what that is. I'm uneducated.
Baleen is like when
Wow. Hey, here's the thing, Tyler. As a druid who's going to be changing into these animals, I need you to start actually looking these things up because you're going to be doing stuff like this. And if it's not possible, I'm going to hold you to it.
So, Jordan, in my defense, the only thing I had issue with was what does baleen mean? That's not on me. That's just a weird mouth.
But that's a sperm whale, though, and that's what you've been talking about.
But I don't know what the word means.
There are different kinds of whales, right? Some have teeth, and some have baleen, and baleen are like hairy, brushed mouth, and they don't eat things, right? They just swim through the water.
That's a blue whale. So the sperm whales have teeth.
I did Google it. Sperm whales are teeth, so they do have a full jawed mouth that could physically bite stuff. That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Zeke's teeth are immaculate and pearly white.
Yeah.
Just
So look it up. Look it up. A blue whale. You'll see their teeth, and all they do is eat plankton.
So do me a favor, like as this sperm whale. Are there stats for a sperm whale?
Oh, absolutely. Are there stats for a sperm whale?
So as you're doing this, and they're trying to load this thing into your mouth, can you make me a con save as a sperm whale?
Am I close to Marius to give, or is he just off? Not
I mean,
engaging?
you're a sperm whale. I feel like no matter where I'm standing, you're within fucking 10 feet of me.
All right. So what's the bonus to con
I'll let
save?
you have Marius's bonus. Yeah.
4 or 5? Jordan, is your paladin
Plus
bonus?
5.
Plus 5. Okay, sick. Please, just not a 1.
Natural 20 again.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So you get into this water that is absolutely cold, and I know sperm whales are like adjusted for like cold climates, but like this water and here in Stygia is so cold that it is affecting you not only on like a physical level, but almost like in your soul itself is being like swallowed up by this cold water. But with this bonus, you withstand the effects of the cold water.
Steve, I was going to turn into a cloud. I wasn't going to swim.
Well, you had to turn into a whale to get the thing in your mouth. This is just for the moment you're in the water to get the safe in your mouth, right?
Yeah, gotcha. I thought you were gonna have me swim the whole way. I'm like, no, I could be a cloud whale.
Yeah. And whales breathe air, so there's no worry about you drowning, about being out of the water. So then that happens. They get the safe in your mouth, and you're able to then turn into this cloud form.
It takes a minute. It's agonizing to listen to. And I guess I just start flying.
And everyone does, right? Everyone turns into this cloud.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, perfect. So we're back to being in cloud form, and
I feel like we're all unhappy with what has happened for the last hour.
and let's go. Let's go ahead and move our tokens. You can move your token.
Alright.
You have what?
I think it was 64.
Yeah. So that's what
1.
8. I know if you go
40.
straight back, you can get there in time.
Yeah, it's 56 to either
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, it's no problem. So, like, the clouds are like, he's in winch walk and he's like zooming with you. You guys are just like racing across the glacier, and you arrive on the edge of the city as expected. And then what?
I'm just gonna float down to the ground,
Uh-huh.
turn from a cloud into a sperm whale over the course of 60 agonizing seconds,
Uh-huh.
and then just... Oh, I see now. Okay, I see the problem. If I turn back into a person, the safe is in my mouth and I die.
No, you go back to the well because you're still within the hour. You're good.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's 65
okay.
miles per hour. We got here in 56 miles, so you still you
Yeah,
still have
so,
like
so you
8 minutes or something.
The giant cloud whisks back into this giant whale holding a cart with a big old safe and infernal chains. And what do you just like bleh, like spit it out?
Yeah, just like to keep like everything but the head of the sperm whale stays as a cloud, and the head just floating in the air, just spits it on the ground, and then just
That's not how the spell works.
Jordan, do you?
No,
How
dude,
we want the spell to
dude.
work.
Tyler, here's the thing. You want to do these amazing, like crazy things,
This wasn't even my idea.
but you're not thinking it through, because we just got here and you were like, wait a minute. If I do this, then it's gonna kill me because I'm gonna be a human. Like, you didn't think to this point in the thing. So you have to, according to Windwalk, it takes a 1 minute. You're incapacitated, and you're not capacitated until the full minute's done, and your entire body reverts back. So
Yep,
we
right.
can't say that only our head goes, because then that might, if we start bending the rules like that, then we could, down the road screw over Steve by like, oh, I only put my arm out and cast the spell, but the rest of my body stays a cloud, and that's why I can't be hit. Like, we've got to stay true to these rules. But come on, man, we need to see this giant sperm whale hit the ground in front of the city, and everyone in the city be like, why the fuck is there a giant sperm whale right in front of the city? Like, we
Before
need that moment,
barfs out of
Tyler.
safe.
We need that moment of a giant sperm whale barfing out a safe.
I've got a question for you, Steve.
Okay.
As a sperm whale, I guess there's anything. How far do I fall in a minute?
Well, you can be on the ground and unfog. You don't have to be up in the air
I'm trying to fall out of the sky.
and kill yourself.
That's what I'm asking about. If it's gonna kill me, I'm not gonna do it.
Well,
The maximum amount of damage you can take from fall damage is like 20d6. That's terminal velocity.
hey, Rick. Hey, Rick.
Yes, sir.
I can tell someone else didn't watch the first season of Critical Role.
Yep.
Critical Role. I mean, that's still like 70 hit points less than the max, so I guess I'd like to, in the air, I'd like
So,
to just
are you
revert to
doing?
sperm whale and then just flop onto the ice.
So this is basically the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy moment.
I haven't seen that either.
You mean Reddit? God, that's even worse to say. I haven't seen it.
Wow. Thank you, Mike.
Yep, there's Zeke falling
Oh
from the sky.
no!
All right, how many hit
No, I
points?
don't like that.
There you go,
189. I literally can't die.
All sixes. Thanks. You take 68 points, slightly less than average.
I'm not even bloody.
And you crack, right? And there's a loud thud as the ice kind of cracks beneath you. And this is kind of on heavier, stabler ice. And it makes a loud noise, so all the eyes on the edge of the city where you are kind of turn in your direction.
Yeah,
And
I want to just
Kisruck's
Over
the safe!
then no.
Zeke,
No, Tyler.
Zeke's
Ice
in
cracks,
25
it falls in the
Jordan,
ocean. No, I'm just
Tyler,
kidding.
I don't.
Jordan, I know. I just didn't think about it. I know there are consequences. I don't mind that.
But
Well,
you-
we
you don't-
mind
that's not what I'm
that
saying.
because that's 25 soul
That's not what I'm
coins.
saying. I'm not saying.
I mean, technically it's on Zeke, right? Because
Hey, we didn't sign the contract, so we're less just
Oh yeah, you're right. Zeke did. Yeah, Tyler,
it's
do whatever
alleged
you
for
want.
now.
But Kisrick runs over to like the safe, and he's like, like he's petting it like it's his baby, you know, like you're okay, baby. And you know, he looks back and he's like kind of wild. He's like, I didn't know we were gonna break the law to get here so fast. That was exhilarating.
What do you mean break the law?
Well,
Oh, this maximum speed movement on this plane.
there is a like he's like, well, yeah, there is a maximum speed limit on this. Like flight speed is limited to no more than 5 miles per hour.
Oh
That's-
my god.
That's bullshit. Steve,
No, Jordan, there are consequences.
I'm telling you, I did prep work, and there's literally a person whose job it is to enforce all the inane laws on this layer, and one of them is a maximum speed limit for flying.
That definitely counts for inane laws in Nine Hells.
He's like, I can afford the fine. It's no big deal. But
Oh.
the other one, which maybe we'll get to later, was like anyone that flies through this layer has a 50% chance of being struck by lightning.
No.
That seemed a little more mean. So yeah, you get here, right? And he's like, well, I can't say you didn't uphold your end of the bargain. And he looks over, and there's like, imps and barb devils and stuff like on this outer layer. I guess it would probably be imps and spine devils. And he snaps his finger and he says, you, pull this in. And they're like, oh yeah. And they come running out and instantly have to like obey a command from a superior. And these imps and spine devils begin trying to like pull the cart into the city. And he turns to you, Lot, and he says, quite well done. You saved me a bit of a hassle. And he gives you like a bow, and he's like, I would say our terms of our contract are considered fulfilled. I appreciate you not trying to pull one over on me. And he reaches into his belt, and he hands you, he has a little pouch, and he hands you 2 soul coins, Zeke.
I'm still a whale.
He puts
I'm a whale until the spell is up. I'm just gonna sit here.
It's like, oh, all right. Well,
I hold my hand out.
he's like, well, the terms of the contract were
Well,
to
he's
Zeke.
their
I turn back
husband.
into a
He's a
part
flying
of the
crab
group.
person.
Yeah, we're
Oh, you said
literally
you're married. That's actually different.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah.
if you're married, then the terms of this contract would apply to any of the spouses. That's fine. Here, and he hands
Cool.
you the coins.
Cool.
You don't remember
Cool.
that part?
So
Zeke doesn't get to sign any more contracts.
if I need, I'm going to go in and I'm going to like be careful with that safe. And they're like trying really hard. And he's like, if I'm going to get this in. If I'm going to set up this meeting. Is there a place I can get a hold of you? You got a place you're staying? Should I just look for the giant sperm whale?
What's the name of the place where we it was like the back of the where
With the
Ava
half-floor
did the
fast booker.
thing.
Yeah. Do we name it? We probably did.
I
don't know.
forget
didn't
I forget
know
the
we did
name.
that.
I forget the name of that place.
Field Rock Shatter Fury's bar.
Yeah. Yeah, so he's like, I'll be able to find you there. That's fine. If I set the meeting up tomorrow, you guys are good with that?
Sure.
You're not
Yes.
skipping town or anything? You don't have any hot dates?
I mean, we're all married.
Perfect.
It's not all of us. Steve, I
Maybe
don't
not all of
remember.
us,
Hal's not married to us. He's married
Well,
to his
married,
wife.
though.
but he is married.
Yeah. Yeah.
Morthos
Look,
has like sex cult
yeah,
orgies.
Morthos has sex cult orgies, so that clearly doesn't make a difference.
Nope.
Also, I don't remember Steve, but Marius would. Like the other job we're doing that is that tomorrow? Was that a date? Did we pick something? Did we
He
say
said-
we were going to be
He
somewhere?
said give him 24 hours to get his feelers out there and set something up and check back with him. And within 24 hours, he might have, you know, some leads for you guys. And he allowed you guys to set up your tower on his basketball court.
I wanted to make sure that we weren't double booking.
Yeah, that's true. The days are big, right? So the meeting wouldn't take a full day anyway, so I think it'd be fine. And yeah, you watch as Kisruk leaves the sperm whale behind and starts like berating these like imps and spine devils to pull the cart, you know, better. And they start moving like into the town, and like the imps and stuff, they can get it into the outer ring, but they're not allowed to move into the next ring. So when he gets it there, he goes up to this next layer and commands people to come out and push it into that layer. And then when he gets to the last layer, he goes in and pulls people to come back. But as you watch him boss these people around, I mean, he seems to be as big a deal as he made himself out to be. Like, at least people are like following his orders. And you got about 5 minutes left on your spell, Zeke.
I'd like to just lay on the ice.
Actually, you know what?
Be cold.
You know what? Make a concentration check for me.
Oh yeah, that's I have to make a what's 39?
34.
Yeah, that's unless that's a nat 20. Well, depending on the roll, but I can't. Yeah, so, I'm a human now.
You are not a sperm whale anymore. You tried holding on, but you turned back.
I forgot. With all the other shenanigans, I forgot about concentration.
Right. So you guys all look at each other. Job well done. Anything to bypass that hex crawl. You guys want to do anything else today, or are you guys ready to just retreat for the night and fast forward till the next day?
If we're not going to do anything, I want to look over my contract again and just kind of relax.
Yeah. Well, actually, the interesting thing, because you made the delivery, right? The contract would then be like resummoned by Imp Willie, and then the contract would be like null and void because the terms are considered fulfilled. Yeah, I guess you probably would still keep a copy of your contract. It would
I don't want a human.
It would still be filed away for all of eternity somewhere, right? But the terms are like, you can look it over. That's fine.
I meant my other contract.
Oh, you got so many contracts. It's hard to keep track of.
I meant the one with Asmodee.
Have we not fully figured out that contract yet?
I think we have, but I like the idea of Zeke kind of looking at it during downtime. Okay.
I wasn't sure. You know how to break the contract now?
Yeah, what was... yeah, I have it written down. I have the specific wording written down.
Yeah, I think it was, which was basically you had to get the contract back, and to void it, you had to put your left hand back into the contract, and Mahadi had to put his left hand into the contract, and then you had to sever your hands. You need to put the severed hand of you guys back in. The hands that made the contract is the same hand that goes back and undoes it.
So if Mahadi's Rakshasha, is it his left hand or is it his right hand?
Good question. It's his left hand, which is kind of his right hand, right?
That's why we just take them both.
There we go.
So anyways, as we finish this scene, I think now is the best time to take our midpoint break because it's basically 8 o'clock. So let's take a 15-minute break, and then we'll come back and we'll do everything before we go into our long rest, and then go into the meeting. So don't take a long rest or anything yet. 15 minutes. Let's come back at 8:15 and continue the rest of our Beyond Avernus. Oh, you know what I realized I didn't do at the beginning of this episode? I did not do our opening crawl with our intro.
Now you can.
Damn. Well, maybe I'll run it at the break. Anyways, we'll take a break. Come back in 15 minutes. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back on Beyond. Welcome back to Beyond Avernus. I am DM Steve. Follow me at Steve the DM down below. I realized we were so into like talking about like Christmas stuff and if Santa's an elf or a gnome and all this stuff, we didn't introduce ourselves properly, or the characters we're playing, or even play our opening intro. I feel like such a failure tonight.
It's
like
like
the
the last
busy
2 hours
debating
to
about
introduce
Santa's
our
true form.
characters.
Yeah, exactly. So I apologize. Let's do a quick rundown, just so I feel better. I am Steve, aka DM Steve. Hello, Brianna.
Hi, I'm Brianna. I play Ava. She's a rogue and cleric.
Rick.
Yeah, I'm Rick. I play Hallandar, the Ranger Fighter. You can follow me on Twitter at Hallowed or at YouTube on The Hollowed Hunt. We do games on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday.
That's a lot. Jordan.
What's that social media platform shit you just said?
Yeah, they take his shit when they play.
I think it's Twitter. All right. It's
I
the
have a
bird
Twitter.
one. It's one of the bird ones. All right. I'm Jordan. I play Marius. He's a paladin fighter, ASMR, mortal angel, and he just wants to kill stuff. I am on Twitter at TrueValk. I'm actually that on everything. So if you feel like following, come join the party.
Mike.
I am Mike. I play Morthos. He's 25-year-old male tiefling, warlock, and his patron is Maliki, the goddess of the forest.
And Tyler.
I play Zeke, the Simic hybrid crab human,
Sperm
who
whale?
sometimes turns into a sperm whale, apparently.
More often than before, but
More often. It has happened now.
you used to. I'm guessing when you were a cleric, you used to sneak away and polymorph into sperm whales on your own time.
Oh, yes, those cleric spells.
No,
Get
I thought
polymorph.
I really thought
Oh, they do?
Tyler, you were gonna say the level 15 sperm whale who's sometimes a druid.
I mean, hey, if I can take levels in sperm whale, I'm not saying no necessarily. I'm just saying, what are they?
We're going back to Mordenkainen, folks. Let's get that sperm whale.
Oh wow! Actually, no, I'm wrong. Clerics do not get polymorph. Only trickery domain clerics get polymorph.
Okay, I thought I was crazy. I'm like, I could have been doing this all along.
What's the point of switching?
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. And we have the new screens that have your Twitter, social media handles, and your character backstories too. So anyone that tuned in would at least have gotten those. But now everyone's up to speed. So are you guys ready to negotiate more contracts? I'm sure if we want to play like Contract Negotiator, there's a better system than 5th edition D&D.
I don't know. We can just keep going and see how far we can get.
That's true.
Or
Well, back to our game. So you guys have arrived, right? We're kind of doing like the end of night montage, unless there's something else you want to do with your ship. I mean, you've only used 1 hour of your 8 more hours of wind walking, right? You've spent a total of about, I think you're at like 5-ish hours of like time spent traveling today. So you technically could wind walk around for another 3 hours before you start having to make exhaustion checks.
Let's not push it. We found somebody who can get us an audience.
Yeah. Okay.
For today, at least.
Fair enough.
I like to imagine that also that conversation with Kisrook was real time. So it actually was like an exhausting hour of arguing about a contract.
Yeah. I mean, you put it best during the break when you said it took us longer in real time to negotiate the contract than it took you as characters to fly all the way back to the town.
Yep.
It's
Yeah.
fun.
It sounds like real life.
Yeah. So, we do like a little montage. You guys, where are you guys sleeping? You guys are going to set up your tower on the basketball court?
Yep.
Yep. That's the
Okay.
plan.
Yeah, so you go back, you set the tower up, you're familiar. So this might be the first time some people are even seeing this. So what is this tower? Who has it? It's still Ava that has it?
Yep.
Yep.
So what do you do, Ava?
Ava just makes her back up and then just yeets it into the middle of wherever it is.
Yeets what?
And-
Because some people might not know what this is.
Oh, she yeets the. There's instant fortress that she's got since like level 5 of the campaign.
And also, some of us that are over 30 might not know what yeet means. So can you clarify what yeet
Yeet is when you throw things,
Right.
and
do
also
you
say
yeet?
the word yeet to
Goodness.
further the distance, and also, well, for me, it's when I try to like make a shot.
Right. Makes sense.
Sort of like how people say like Kobe whenever they're like throwing things.
Right.
No, the rules are yeet for distance, Kobe for accuracy.
Well,
That-
yes,
I don't
this
know
is
enough to
true.
dispute it, but that sounds accurate.
Yeah, I don't think you said Kobe anymore though, for accuracy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's not
Oh.
cool.
Okay, it's yeet for accuracy now too.
It's just yeet. Yeet all day, every day. So
There was a basketball too. Oh no.
So you yeet this tiny pocket-sized toy castle tower,
Mhm.
and then what do you say? You have a command word. Do we know what the command word is? Have we said that?
Is open sesame in
That's right.
halfling.
Right. And instantly, the fortress grows to the size of a full fortress, springs up on this, basketball court in the back of the bar, and you have your own personal instant tower,
Indeed, we do.
which only you can open the door. Although, as
Did we-
pointed out very clearly by Jordan to me on other readings of the thing, like, only the front door is secured, right?
Yes.
The top door could
yeah.
theoretically just be opened by anyone?
No, the top door is also only openable by someone who speaks man word.
Are you sure?
Yes.
That's how she ruled it in her game.
No, that's how it's ruled in every game.
I read the rules after Jordan pointed it out to me, and I'm not so sure.
Yeah, read the rules. It doesn't specifically say that.
But
the top
instead of
door-
getting in, it's not like a tangent right now. We can discuss that either on our rules lawyer show, or we can discuss it at the beginning of another episode. So you set up the tower, which allows
or
you
when
guys
when he attacks us.
when I attack you right now. Yeah,
Yep.
you set up the tower and go inside, and it's not like a pocket dimension or anything, right? You're still here. You just have your own private space that's fairly safe and secure.
Yep. AKA the honeymoon suite.
I like to imagine none of us
Well, that's-
told
that's her
Philrock that we were doing this. So he's just completely flabbergasted.
His basketball hoop and thing are just pushed over from
Topples.
the giant tower.
Poor instant fortress. Yeah. So
No, the hoop falls over.
yeah, the hoop, the whole thing. So yeah, you guys have this tower. Now, it's still got like it still has like open windows, and it's still like cold air blowing in. It reduces the wind chill significantly because there's not like direct wind blowing on you. But like, you guys are starting to like feel the effects of this place. So you guys have spent like a whole day here, going around. Like Zeke, you touched that water for just a few minutes, and were instantly like felt like you were trying to be sapped of your strength. This cold, this sort of like weight bearing down on you goes further than just temperature. It is like tied into like the whole existence of this place, and you guys are starting to like realize, like, even though it's not Avernus and even though you're not getting exhausted walking around, it is very hard to reach a comfortable temperature, and if you're not constantly moving and keeping your blood circulating, it is a rough place. And so as you guys like basically like, what are the sleeping arrangements? Is Ava still get the honeymoon suite to herself? And
Yep.
everyone else is on the bottom?
Bunk beds.
I don't see anyone wanting to pick that fight with Ava, so
That's true.
there's no winning.
So you spend the night like tossing, turning, trying really hard to like get a comfortable sort of like sleep, and drift off, and you're constantly waking up to like the cold like ripping you to your core. Nobody is able to complete a long rest. Now, everyone can make con saves for me.
Oh God.
Everyone except for Ava has Marius' bonus. Unless Ava's going to
Oh.
bite the bullet and come downstairs.
I've got the Ring of Winter. Does that do anything for me?
It does not in this case because it's more than just like it's more like the rules of the lair more than just the air temperature. Unfortunately,
A freaking 1. Jesus Christ.
One from Mar-
No, it was a
You
10.
rolled a 1, but a 10.
I rolled a 2.
Oh, okay. The 1 wasn't a natural 1 with a +9.
A con save.
Yeah, make a con save. Yeah, so even though you have the Ring of Winter, which puts you down to 50 degrees, it's still more than just air temperature that's causing this to happen. And even okay, so Hal, Ava, and Zeke, you all successfully can complete a short rest.
Wait, hold on. I only have like a 9. Do you mean Marius?
Oh, I was looking at the con save for the whale splatting. Never mind. You had an
Oh.
18 on there, right? So only Ava and Hal are able to complete even a short rest tonight. So if you guys lost any health, get anything back on a short rest, want to expend any hit dice, you can. Everyone else,
It's a level exhaustion.
no, you don't even take exhaustion so much. It's just you don't get anything back you would get on a long rest. You don't get hit points back. You don't get spell slots back. You don't lose exhaustion. All of that stays spent.
Yeah, we got to get off this layer.
I don't even think it's the layer. I think it's maybe they have some type of protection in these buildings. Maybe we should have gotten a room.
As you toss and turn, and it really feels similar to like the way that Avernus weighed on you, on your like soul, and like being here and being a non-evil creature is hard on you guys. It really is the lair.
Okay.
You have a hard time even getting comfortable here. So that's the moment when you as players are like, oh god, and then you have spent how many spell slots when walking around the plane?
2.
Yeah.
I see why
Yeah.
you made a note of it, that I'm using a 7th level spell slot for that now, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like another player at the table was like, "Hey, yeah, that's not going to affect the rest of the party at all."
This was the one thing where I couldn't say anything last week when we said, I'm casting Windwalk to go around, which was cool, but like, it's not a long-term solution in a place where you can't get a long rest. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, we didn't know that.
you didn't know that, and I didn't say anything. But that was
Well,
definitely
that's why. Go ahead.
I would say that was definitely part of the lair effects that I had planned, even coming in here. So that was why I was not too worried about the windwalking being an ultimate long-term solution.
Well, we just need to find a wizard who will cast what's it
William's
called?
Tiny Hut.
Yep. Or what's the one?
King's
The
Magnificent
mansion.
Right. Anything that can
We're working
basically,
down here.
yeah, anything that can basically get you out of this lair and into like something like removed from it, right?
If Marius dies, I'll just roll a wizard.
Or, you know, there might be other ways to do it, but as of right now, you spend this very restless, terrible night, and the next morning you guys are all, you know, pretty grumpy.
I'm glad I didn't spend any spells. Jeez. Because I have way less slots and way less high-level spells at all, so that would have been really bad for Marius.
So
Yeah.
you wake up the morning, and you guys have a moment to reflect upon what you've learned in your night sleeping here.
Zeke is going to kind of just wake up, having gotten very little rest. Look around, sees like everyone, but Hal, even Hal didn't get very much, but everyone, Marius and Martha especially, also didn't. And to kind of come to that conclusion of just, oh shit. It's going to be like this.
So Marius is gonna get everybody in the common room. I imagine in between all of the bunk beds. We've got like the table and everything where we eat and discuss things. And he's gonna walk around the table. Well, not walk. He's gonna hover around the table and just lay a ring in front of his 3 spouses. And in front of Zeke is a platinum ring. In front of Morthos is a platinum ring. And in front of Ava is a platinum ring. But this one is much nicer. She would know that. And and he says he holds up his hand, and on his left hand he has 3 platinum rings on his fingers. one on each of the fingers on his left hand. And he says, so since we're married and all, and it's my job to protect all of you, I got a new spell from my god that allows me to protect somebody else. So if we each wear these rings, if things get really hairy, I can cast a spell only on one of you at a time, but it'll give you resistance to whatever damage you take, and it'll protect you.
That's moving, Marius. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was
That's
awesome.
really cool.
Yeah. So it lasts an hour. So if we get in a really hairy situation, I'll have to make the difficult choice of deciding who to cast this on. But
The camera pans to Ava.
It's just good direction.
But it's now an option. So I just wanted to put that on the table, let everyone know that that's a thing, and to ask you to please wear it. It can kind of, signify the fact that we're all still married. And, there's also the mechanical and magical benefit. So also, this place sucks.
Seconded.
Understatement.
Very much.
How did the cold affect Giramy, the Fox Seeker crab?
It like gets a lot of frost like built up in its gears, and it's constantly like getting like jammed, and you got to give it body heat just to make it like clear up.
Absolutely holding this thing to my coat then.
Yeah.
Giramy is not going to get hurt.
Yep. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
guessing. Yeah. I mean, you guys. Do you have anything? So now knowing this, right? Is there anything else you need to change or plan for the day? Or do we want to fast forward to like our meeting with your contact?
Well, we're probably going to be getting into some kind of fight if I know fiends and the jobs that they've given us based on our experience of an Avernus. So if you're preparing your spells for the day with your god, and I look at Zeke and nature, then, keep that in mind.
It's an interesting point. Can you change spells without a long rest?
Oh, probably not.
I think for the purposes of this, I will allow you to change the spells you have prepared. You're just not getting the spell slots back. Because that's a much harsher sort of... Like, being locked into all that all the time is pretty rough. I'm not even sure what the correct answer is.
I always imagine that the preparation takes place in the morning, but it is tied to the long rest, and the wording on Druid isn't super clear, so... Well,
Is it part of the spell casting feature? Is that what it says?
yeah, under preparing and casting spells. You prepare the list of Druid spells that are available for you to cast using the Druid spell list. Choose so many spells have to be at a level you can cast. Example about levels. You can also change your list of prepared spells when you finish a long rest, which seems to imply you can do it at other times. Preparing a new list of Druid spells requires time spent in prayer and meditation, at least 1 minute per spell level for each spell on your list.
Yeah, same.
Just gotta pray.
I see that on clerics as well. Pretty much the same wording. Which means I think it can be done as part of a long rest or as part of any time you can just pray to change your spells, right?
There you go. So you don't need it at all.
1 minute per spell level that you're changing. So third level spell, 3 minutes a time. And I'm fine with wrapping that all up like off screen. It's
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So we come back to like the like crossfade to you guys like sitting. You looks like completely like hungover because you guys are just unrested, looking terrible, just sitting at this like ice bar.
Marius still looks great. He's just floating.
And Phildrock's like, your lot don't look too good. You getting? Is it my ale too strong?
We didn't sleep well.
Well, this place ain't for everyone. There's two ways. You either do what I don't like this label, but they do say anyone who is evil will have no trouble sleeping through the night, and that's my preferred route. Just they call it evil, I call it putting myself first. You know what I mean? But secondly, you can always get one of those shards of Levistus that they're always talking about. Like anyone that is given a shard of Levistus is kind of granted reprieve from his sort of blanket weighing down on your soul, so to speak. They're just, a little expensive. I think they're sold at the gift shop. I think they were like 10 soul coins or something like that. Y'all didn't happen to pick one up, did you?
We did not.
Well, and then there's a ringing. He's like, oh, by the way, I managed to get you guys a meeting. And right as he says that, there's like a dingling as like an ice bell rings when the door opens. Everything's icy here. And yeah, you look up and in the door walks a barbed devil. And so let's see. It's been a while since you saw a barbed devil. Let me show you what they look like. Spines coming off him. This one looks pretty common. Like he looks like most barbed devils, but instead of the normal greenish skin that makes him look like a frog, he's got dark blue colorations, and his eyes seem to be pure white. And as he kind of walks in, he looks around the bar, and he says, "Ah, Fildrock, where are these suckers I'm here to meet?"
Hey.
And Fildrock does that look where he side-eyed looks at you guys. He's like, "Oh, Fildrock." Or sorry, not Fildrock. Oh, Shug, meet the Alleged Five? I believe is what they refer to themselves collectively as. He's like,
yep. Allegedly. Finger guns at Fildrock very unenthusiastically.
He's like, "Pleased to meet you," and he reaches out his hand for a handshake, and he's got spines all over it. It's like handshaking a cactus.
Ava reluctantly shakes his hand.
He says, "We're gonna take a booth back here. Can you send us over some of your ale, Fildrock?" And he goes in the back and sidles into a little booth and takes his little devil hat and puts it on the table. It's like a baseball hat with the bill completely flat. And it still has a sticker on it too. Hard to get down here. So he says, before we move forward, I've been led to believe that you guys are looking for work. Is that the case? I've told you guys are good at acquiring things, potentially through what you refer to as stealing.
Procuring through unconventional methods.
Perfect. Because that would lead me to believe that you lot would have no problem with bending the law a bit. Am I right?
Ava side-eyes Hal. Perhaps.
Perfect. He kind of leans in a little bit, and he's like, "This damn decree is really making things hard on a devil out here."
Decree?
Oh, that's right. You guys aren't from around here. You're kind of new, fresh faces. I apologize. The decree is a resolution put forth by Levistus, which... Well, let's go back a bit. You guys are surely aware Levistus is the person in charge of this realm, correct?
Yes.
But it wasn't always that way. Levistus and Garyon were clashing for a very long time over who would maintain control. And as you're aware, Levistus came out on top, and Geryon was forced to step down from that title. Asmodeus was, for some reason, and nobody really knows why, encased Levistus in a giant glacier of ice as punishment, but left him in charge of the realm anyways. So, those that supported Geryon, they didn't go away. They still live among us. And because there was so much backstabbing and so much fighting to undermine each other by directly harming each other, it was making it very hard to get any work done around here, and he was falling behind on his soul quota. And so, 2 years ago, Levistus' plan was to put out the decree, which puts a law into place that says no devil can inflict any fighting upon another devil, except, of course, as permitted in the duelist chasm. And because of all that, all the undermining now must take place in a political sense, and less of a literal backstabbing sense. Except, of course, and this is where he gets a grin on his face, for matters of prime security. Levistus created a task force, of which I am licensed under. If we feel something concerns overthrowing Levistus, well, we're permitted to take direct action. And so, that is where you come in. I'm to understand that you're pretty good at stealing stuff, which is good, because if you're going to want to get on Mitanu's good side, you'll want to do this job for me. Simple job, breaking into some records and swiping them, and bringing them to me. But before I can give you any more details, I need to know, are you in, or are you out?
Where... Alright, you're gonna have to give us more information before we accept. Not a lot,
I can't give anything classified until I know I can trust you.
Where are the records kept in the city? General location.
There's an outpost not far from here. I don't want to be more specific than that, but they are kept...
Is it the outer ring?
Is it the what?
The outer ring?
Oh, no, not within the city of Tantalin. Another city.
Oh. What's it called? What's the name of the city?
I can't tell you that until I know you're in.
How far is the city? How long is it going to take us to get there?
Well, I've heard you guys have a way of zipping around this place without much issue, so it shouldn't take you guys more than an hour or so.
Steve, I hate you right now.
That's also what led me, because if you guys were willing to break the speed limit law, I thought these are my people. These are who we need. I might be able to even put in a good word and get those violations off your permanent record. Get them expunged, as they say. But yeah, he's just he goes into his pocket, and as you guys know, he pulls out like a contract, and he's like, before I can tell you any detailed information, we will need to formalize the contract. I can answer basic questions, but nothing that could give away what I may be up to until I know that I can trust you. And I know I can trust you when you sign my contract. Now, would you guys like to have a 1-hour debate about the merits of signing this contract? I have a good friend of mine. I keep him on speed dial.
Don't you dare say his name in this establishment.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to summon him unless, this is going to happen.
Spell it out for us, just in case we know him.
IMP.
Okay, you can stop. Thanks. Allow me to confer with my colleagues and discuss this arrangement.
Sure.
If you please. Alright, guys. Like, this is a little weird.
Yeah.
Remind me, what is this? What are we getting out of doing this job again?
A meeting with Matanu.
Which we already are getting.
Yeah.
Either we're getting a meeting with Matanu or 3 soul coins if Kisruk can't do that. Or if Matanu doesn't want to.
Yeah, you haven't heard back yet from Kisruk, who is supposed to put you guys in touch with his contact.
I guess if that falls through, we have this as a backup. But we
Yep.
shouldn't agree to it until we know that
Yeah.
everything falls through.
Once we sign a contract, we're locked.
Yeah, we could. I think we could wait until either end of day today or tomorrow morning to decide on this. Do we want to just tell them that we can wait until later today to? I'm blanking.
Yeah.
To decide.
That's not a bad idea. Because, like, why would we... I don't know, like, why should we do something that ultimately would give us the same result as something that's already been put in motion?
Yeah.
Agree.
Okay, Zeke is gonna come out of the huddle and go up to, what was this devil's name? Shug?
Shug.
Okay, let me write that down real quick.
Technically, his full name is Sugarmock, but he just goes by Shug.
Okay, Shug. So, hey, Shug. We are actually waiting on something else that would influence our decision on this that is going to be resolved today. So we can get back to you either with a yes or a no, either later tonight or tomorrow morning. If you can just either swing by tomorrow morning or let us know where we can find you tonight.
Well, where you could find me, you're not allowed to go. As much as you guys like to bend the rules a bit, we're pretty strict upon that here. It's too bad. I thought you guys were serious people. He like scoops up the contract and puts it back like under his like coat pocket and finishes his ale and like slams the glass down and begins to stand up.
I recognize that as bait, and I will not rise to it.
So he gets up from the table and he walks over to Phildrock, and you see them having like a small conversation.
Can I try to read their lips? I have observant lets me do that.
Oh, if you then yeah, that's true. You have observance. You can actually read their lips.
Yeah, it's not a try, man. That's a part of the
It's just a part
the
of
thing.
the
You just
yeah.
I'm
do it,
assuming
man.
they're not hiding their lips specifically. I guess what I should have asked.
No, not at all. Although you can only from your angle you can't see Shug's lips, but you can see like Phildrock's lips like responding back to him.
Okay.
And you see what it seems to be saying is he seems to be like saying like, look, I apologize. They gave me some cash. They wanted me to make some introductions. I don't really know them that well. And he's like, all right, well if they change, right, I can get in contact with you. Yeah. Oh, you want to play the hardball? I got it. And then like he kind of like gives like a little nod, and then like Shug like puts a big show on about like standing up and saying, well, Golden opportunity walking out the door.
Bye, sugar.
Sure you don't want to reconsider? he like stops, and he like just like cold like stares right back at you like Marius, and he's like, nobody calls me sugar.
We get that combat, boys.
Oh my God.
Don't use any spell slots. Hoard them. We need 10 elixirs by credits.
Let's roll initiative.
We have any spell slots left in the long rest that are wasted.
I've got a magic missile wand. I use all 7 charges. I'm just kidding.
Okay. Yeah. So he does this like this thing, and so he like looks at you, and he looks back at Phildrock, and he's just like, you know, Phildrock, I don't think these are the people I need anyways. Good luck with getting your meeting. And he leaves.
I think that was all an act. I think he really needs us.
Well, let's hope we don't need him. Let's hope we get our meeting.
Yeah, Phildrock is just like, guys, what was that? You asked me to set up a meeting. I got you in contact with a very important person, and the first thing you do is tell him to like hit the road. Like, I don't know what do you guys want from me?
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna have my husband speak for me. Just like kicks up her feet and just like starts.
Marius
starting
sighs.
Yeah, which husband did you kick?
So, we met a what was his name? Kisrak out on the ice, and transported him over here, and he's gonna get us an introduction and talk to, the big man in the center of the city. So if that doesn't work out,
Kisrak as in Kisrak, like the Amnesu?
Yeah.
No, the celestial Kisrak. Yes, the Amnesu Kisrak.
Wait. If you guys have an in with him, then what are you doing kicking around my lowly bar trying to make contact with, like...
We gave you 50 gold, man.
Yeah, okay, great. Great.
Yeah, and we hadn't met him yet when we talked to you.
I see. Okay.
We appreciate it.
Well... You know, I think he was trying to play hardball with you guys, but that sugar comment, that kind of really rubbed him the wrong way. Like, there's one thing that Shug does not tolerate, it's disrespect.
You should talk with whoever spawned him and named him Sugar.
I'm sure this other deal will work out great for you guys.
How do you survive in Stygia if you don't tolerate disrespect? The whole culture is built on... Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but only from those above
him
you.
All the time.
And you guys are like the lowest of the low. You know what I mean?
Yep. I understand. I'm a crab man.
There's some people that can disrespect him, and there's other people that can't disrespect him. Okay. So, the day kind of like goes, and it's like late afternoon before you get any sort of contact from Kithrak. Kithrak. And it's not Kithrak. Kithrak doesn't show up himself, but he sends like a messenger. And so a little imp like kind of comes in the front door and like looks around and like clearly recognizes you guys as the alleged 5 and is like walks over to you, Zeke. I take it you're Zeke, right?
Yep, I am Zeke.
All right.
Are you from Kisrak?
I am. He got you. He got you the meeting that you were asking for.
Yes. Great. What are the details?
All right. So you have a 30-minute time slot. I hope that's all that they could pencil in between 1:15 and 1:45 on the third Thursday of next month. And Thursday's not a day in here, but basically, you got your meeting. It's you have what 5-10 days to prepare.
Okay. Okay. Before the messenger leaves, I want to ask him. We currently don't have access to the tower. Will that be waived temporarily for our meeting?
Oh, that's a good point.
No.
Yeah, no, I think so. I think that yes, like they would give you like temporary like escorted into the tower, into the office for the meeting. Like that would, it definitely takes place in the tower in his office. So yes, as part of your meeting with him, because you got such good friends in high places, he's able to pull that off.
Okay, I thought you were saying, "Oh, I'm not sure." Was the imp?
I literally wasn't sure. No, that was Steve, the DM, saying I'm not sure. But yes, I think that would include access to the tower and the inner ring for the purposes of the meeting, which is highly. The imp's like, this is highly unorthodox, by the way.
Well,
We tend to bring unorthodox with us a lot. Is there anything else, guys? Is there anything else we need to ask him while we have the chance to prepare?
is there like a dress code for this?
I'm sure what you're wearing will be fine, but you are meeting, you know, the most important person in the city. I would think first impressions go a long way.
Any other things that we should know?
This is the first time I've seen an extraplanar person gain an audience in the first place, so who are you?
That's of no consequence. How do we get an earlier date?
Oh,
Because a month from now doesn't work for me.
Wait, I thought it was in like 5-10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
10 days is a
50
week
days.
in Forgotten Realms.
As in like 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
But the 10-day week.
Yes.
Oh.
50,
10
50
days.
50 days away.
50 days.
Yeah, in that case. Second.
Yeah, that's why Marius is like, okay, no one's gonna ask. How do we do this sooner? Because I didn't sleep last night.
If you didn't know that a week was a
So-
10-day in the Forgotten Realms, that would sound a very different sentence. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, not 5 to 10 days, 10 days.
10 days.
The third Thursday of next month, whatever the Thursday equivalent is in the Forgotten Realms. You don't? I mean, he's a
Is there
very
any
busy
way-
guy.
I understand. Is there anything we can do in the city for someone to get a sooner day? Because
Listen, I'm a messenger boy. I
Right.
literally deliver messages to people. You're asking the wrong guy.
do you know anything about extraplanar travel?
Marius, why would...
It's very hard for me to do extraplanar travel. I know that much.
Marius holds a hand out to the messenger, looks at Zeke and goes, he's got a direct line to the DM. If he doesn't know, then who the hell is?
I feel it was meant.
Do you know anyone in the outer ring that knows about extraplanar travel to and from this plane? This layer, specifically.
I'm a messenger, dude.
Cool, man.
I don't know
Cool.
anything about
Thanks for the
extraplanar
information.
travel. You know, you're not going to get very far in this place unless you learn how to make friends. And he flies away.
Marius tightens his grip on his new sword he hasn't used yet.
Yeah, you can just go on a killing spree.
I think we need to go to fight some like evil bears or something. Something just really simple.
In
You look at
Marius's
Phil's
head,
rock.
he's like,
Let's go kill an imp.
oh, that schedule, it's so full. It wouldn't be full if we killed everyone on the schedule before us.
It's true. Also, becoming evil will help you with some of your other problems.
It's not evil to kill fiends, DM. Not to Marius.
It's true.
Not according to his god. Everyone on this plane is open season.
Everyone or the fiends?
Everyone.
I said what I said.
Everyone and crabs.
Marius is like, I didn't sleep last night, Zeke. You totally breaking up there, Brianna.
Yeah.
Alright, but not killing spree isn't
Still robotic.
Same deal.
Yep. Still breaking up.
You sound like you have a robotic voice filter on.
Yeah, it's like hiccuping right in the middle of each word. You might want to disconnect and reconnect. 1 second. Okay.
So what are y'all?
So for a glimmering moment, you guys had.
Nope.
We still have a meeting, right? And for a glimmering moment, you had a chance at like a quest where you could actually kill stuff. But we're back to spinning our wheels in the snow.
Does it work again? Or am I
There
still-
we go.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
cool.
good.
Yep.
Alright, Marius. Killing things isn't going to make things better. If anything, it's going to be worse because we're going to get hurt. And then we can't recover because we can't rest properly. I'm just going to put that out there.
Okay.
As a practiced medical practitioner, resting is the #1 solution to majority of life's injuries. Because the number 0 solution would be for LDAF to just decide you aren't hurt anymore, but that would be too difficult, I guess.
Interesting time and place for you to choose to have that discussion.
Philtron, can I get an ale?
The more we wait,
One
the
ale
less
coming.
we do.
Yep.
Perhaps at some point in time, we need to just go with what's the here and now so we can get through what we need to get. So
Well,
I don't know
screwed
how-
that up. So
you can maybe talk to Flintridge or whatever his name is, and prepare something. I don't know, give him something, and maybe we can get another meeting with this person instead of waiting a month and a half. But I mean, it seems like everybody's, at least down here, is like all about let's do whatever it takes right this second, but sign right here.
And also, wait 10 days, 5 weeks.
I still can't believe 5-10 days was. That wasn't your fault, but I think it's so funny that I didn't remember 10 days were weeks. So I'm like, oh, that's not too long. And then everyone else was like, no, that's like a month.
Right. Yeah, there is this sense that spending some time here, you are picking up that, like, the sense of time for these creatures is, like, so different that you guys have.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you guys are from a place where, like, time is important and getting things done fast is important. And here, it's just a different sense of scale, right? They're essentially immortal here. Unless somebody, like, runs them through with a sword. And here on this layer specifically, that's against the law, so.
So no one ever does it. It works really well.
Well, unless there's some loopholes you can exploit, like, you know, for the good of the layer. But yeah, I mean, what's your guys' next plan?
let's go set Fila Revistus, whatever the fuck his name is.
You want to go look for Levistus in the ice?
Give us something to do for a month.
We're waiting for a month then?
We could just try to contact Shug again and apologize for calling him baking.
We're not
With
apologizing. Mary's is apologizing.
I mean, I was trying to be a little more subtle than that off of, but yeah. Or we could just like leave Marius in the tower while we talk to Shug. So that way
Sounds
he,
like a better idea.
Ava, maybe you can convince Flint Rock to help us out.
Flint
Like-
Rock?
What is his name?
Yabba dabba do.
It's right there on the nameplate, Hal. It's filled rock shatter fury. It's on the bar.
Everything in this bar is branded Filled Rock Shadow Fury. The coasters, the mugs, the pens.
It's all about branding.
Yeah.
I don't. Well, I do. Anyways, I rub my hat. Okay, Field Rock.
Are you
Maybe
actually calling
convince
him?
him.
Oh, okay.
Maybe, yeah, Ava, maybe you can convince him to take another meeting, maybe with not Shug, but somebody just as well connected. I mean, I don't want to wait here forever. I mean, a day here is like, or is it 50 days up there? I don't remember. But maybe we can negotiate. I know you're really good with that, negotiating with things or negotiating of things with
like
people at your rank.
A week here is like a roughly a day here is like what, a week back home?
Yeah, it would be almost exactly a year in the material plane for this 50 days.
And we
Right.
can't sleep, so it makes it even
Well,
worse.
let's go back to the material plane and level up some skills and become better people, and then we come back in a year.
Yeah, can I chop firewood for 350 days, Steve?
You can, yeah. We can pull out the downtime rules for chopping firewood.
That sounds worse than Avernus.
There's a cutaway to like a dungeon somewhere outside of Faerun with like Hal's kid and his wife like chained up, and then back to you guys like saying we can just take a year to chop firewood.
Give Hal. You said your family's locked up or something.
We shouldn't be like wasting time. We should have
Answer
taken
the
what-
damn question.
What was the question?
Alma just like her head's on the table, like her arms are like encircling it because she's so tired.
I didn't catch that amongst your robotic impressions.
Oh, is it robotic again?
No, I'm just being an ass.
Oh my god.
It really wasn't. I was like, kind of good.
Oh shit!
Her Abba's voice is super muffled because she's not lifting her head up.
Oh, that was robotic.
Now it is robotic.
Yep.
It really is now.
He jinxed you.
Alright.
While you're having this like argument, like Phildrak comes over and he's just like, "Listen, Shug just wants to show him a little respect, and he'll come around. Otherwise, I could put you in touch with the other. I don't like to go to him. He's a little meaner. Shug's like the nice one, but there's this other guy, Tupac.
Steve.
Marius
He works on the
cuts
same
his
task
head
force.
off. Marius cuts the bartender's heads off. Ridiculous.
It's like, if you want a quest, I'll get you a different quest giver, just to get you guys to do something. I mean, ultimately,
I'd like to look Flintrock straight in the eye and say, we need Shug to come back. We're ready to move forward, and I want to sleight of hand him a soul coin.
Oh,
oh wow. Do you want to slide a hand and see if anyone notices? Because you got some pretty high perceptive people here in the group.
Yes.
Let's do it. Let's slide a hand it.
all right. Very high DC. Crab eyes on the ready.
What's your passive these days, Zeke and Ava?
25.
23.
And Mary seems pretty high now too, right?
I'm
No.
trying to figure out how he's gonna slide him a soul coin when he doesn't even have one.
No, it's the one that we got from
Oh, I thought Marius had that, and then he gave it to Zeke in the chat. Or did I read that wrong?
it was just someone add one soul coin because Marius took one.
Oh, okay. Sorry. So Hal's got it.
But yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you have a
Let me
soul
just
coin? If so,
make
then
sure.
slide a hand. It's a really tough slide of hand because soul coins are big, right? So it's like it'd be like a magician like palming like an oversized like silver dollar. You know what I mean? Like a huge coin.
It also makes a small sound of like a screaming person.
Yeah, they're 5 inches across and an inch thick. So that's
God.
And constantly
Oh,
screaming.
wow.
Damn.
no, they don't constantly scream. Actually, they only do that when you burn them in a furnace,
Oh,
right? Does it say that?
I
in
was
the
just
book?
I was just saying that it was screaming because that's funnier. Trying to like sneakily sneak a
I mean-
coin under a table.
I wouldn't want to be carrying a screaming cone around.
So 19 is definitely not enough to beat most of the passive perceptions in the party, but you do like. I think what it is you're pretty deft with your thing, but the other dude is not. So you put a 5-inch coin like into his palm, and he's like he tries to be like, oh yeah, and like puts it behind his back, but it's very clearly that he's not very good at that. So all the people that would see that with your passive perception, you see it, and then he says, "That's the kind of respect I'm talking about." And he goes to like have Shug come back. And he gets on his little cell phone. He's like, "Yeah, your plan worked. Hardball. Yeah, they gave us a soul coin. Yeah, get back here." And you see this Zeke with your lips going right, and then he's like, "It's a tough sell, but he's coming."
Before he gets here, I just want to get everybody let's let him have it. Just let him win. Let him be the big man. Hal's right. We're here for a good reason that is very time sensitive. I think that was a good reminder of why we're here helping Hal out and why we need to get going.
So fast forward a few hours, and Shug comes back in the door with his little like sticker-on baseball hat, and did Marius stick around for this, or did you actually go back to the tower as suggested?
Saul and I are not flying because we'd have to go 30 feet. I'm sure you did the math here. We'd have to do 30 feet per 6 seconds in order to be under the speed limit. So we're just floating above the tower, trying to look around the city.
Okay.
Is there like a little imp with a spyglass, like watching to make sure? Like
I think
like, radar
there are
gun
imps
you?
everywhere that see someone breaking the rule and instantly report it. They're like getting on the phone, like they're speeding past my house.
Oh, cool. It's a land. We're on the snitch layer. Cool.
You're on the
Stygia.
snitch plane of existence.
Yeah, but we're just clouds, so they're gonna say some clouds are speeding by. Come on.
No, we're not clouds anymore, Mike. I'm not casting that spell again. I can't.
No,
I
I'm
can do it
saying
one more
I'm
time.
talking about before.
I think
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why we
but-
didn't get caught, because we were clouds.
Yeah.
Something's going 70 miles an hour. Like, what is it? I don't know. It's clouds.
Cloud.
But yeah, so
Not
like
against the rules, technically.
so Shug comes back and he's just like yeah, what braces are you attuning to, Hal?
The bracers of archery.
Oh, okay. Did
And
you
removing
unattune
the ring of warmth?
to the ring of warmth? Right. Yeah, the ring of warmth, like it suppresses some of the effects and makes it easier for you to take the short rest and stuff. But like, it doesn't completely negate the whole ring. So that's kind of like, you're like, oh god, this is a waste of money. Stick it back in your pocket. Okay, that's fine. And so Shug comes back, and he's like, I see the one with the attitude isn't here. That was probably a wise one. I'm guessing he's the muscle and not the face of the operation.
I very much apologize for my husband's behavior.
That's your husband?
I nod as Ava and I kind of tap her on the back of the elbow. Go on.
And we would very much be interested in looking over the contract again.
Amazing. I knew you'd come around. I knew you were smart people, and the respect that you showed me by making sure I got the soul coin, props. And then slide. He like sits back down, and he pulls the contract out, and he slides it over, and he says, pretty standard stuff. We're not looking at like supernatural powers or anything. It's just, you got a job, I got a job, and you're gonna do it for me. I'm sure you're familiar with basic contract law. Well, maybe you're not because you're not from this plane, but the contract, I mean, if Morthos and Hal, you guys want to give me the once over of the contract, he explains it that just says like, basically, the contract's simple. Payment of 5 soul coins for retrieval of the documents. He refers to them as the evidence of traitorous acts. And you agree to never breathe a word about this mission to anyone not involved.
Can we give it a once-over, if you don't mind?
I wouldn't expect anything less. So you guys can give your contract once over. You guys gonna start your own law firm here soon.
Oh, no, please.
Morthos with a 9.
Sucking ass.
That
Oh,
advantage really comes in
Saving it.
handy.
Saving
Natural
it for my
Ooh.
fighting.
You gotta start saying Maliki for everything now. We haven't
Oh,
talked
that's
in
true.
3 weeks.
You know what? I do need to call her.
Every contract, Maliki, what's this say?
My hand's so freaking frozen, I can't even move it.
Yeah. So with another natural 20, like you do pick up like this kind of recurring theme where they seem to like downplay the penalties in these contracts, but this penalties in this contract, what it says is like basically, you know, the retrieval of the documents is referred to throughout the whole contract as evidence of traitorous acts. The party agrees to never speak about the mission again to anybody outside the group or Shug. And there's a penalty of 1 soul coin that you guys owe every time you mention it to anyone not privy to the information. Failure to actually deliver the goods that you're being assigned to retrieve results in 1 month of jail time, pending a court case to prove negligence notwithstanding acts of Asmodeus or other divine powers out of your control. So if you take the mission and you fail and it was proved in court that it was because you guys sucked at your job and not because somebody else, you know, was like something out of your control stopped it from happening, then you're going to have to do a month of jail time.
Plus court of law.
Okay, how many days is a month in Faerun?
30.
Okay.
3 10 days is a month.
Just making sure. So if this goes bad, we could just mess it up, get convicted, do a month, and then just 10 days later meet with him. Like the worst case scenario. I don't want to do that, but
yeah, the other thing too, since you rolled like the natural 20, there is definitely some wording in this contract that makes it seem that you are the document. It was tried to be as vague as possible, but you can understand that the object that you're being asked to retrieve is actually a book.
I'll look to the group and then I'll look at the guy and say, so what is this? What is the book?
He looks a little upset that you'd even like say it out loud. He's like, shh, keep it down. If anyone knew what we were up to, there's enemies everywhere. It's a book that proves... Well, it's a book that will help Levistus, which in turn will help us. You'll get the recognition that you are seeking, and I can definitely put you in contact right away with those of higher, because if we're successful, we're talking fast track up the corporate ladder. You know what I'm saying?
All right.
We need to
I
talk
hate
to
say this.
Matanu or whoever's in charge. We need to get down to what's the next layer below?
Bulge?
yeah, that sounds right.
All right, Shug. I'm very sorry to ask this, but we will be successful because that's the kind of operation we run here.
I sure hope so.
How soon would this meeting with Matanu happen?
I mean,
what kind of contact?
I can't promise.
It needs to be immediate.
It has to be
If you're
as soon as
gonna-
possible.
If you're gonna put all this extra, and I gesture at the fine print, if you're gonna put all fine print, we need to insert our own red line fine print to say, within 24 hours, we will meet with Matanu regarding XYZ, and we're friends of Red.
72 hours.
You're
Like she
breaking up
said,
again.
24 hours.
But yeah, I got the gist of it. Listen, Mitanu is a very powerful man.
Matano's already agreed to our former contact that we would get access to the portal below his tower. This is, you might not, being from here, you might not know, but this is a time-sensitive matter. When I say time-sensitive, it's like, okay, when is the next soul going to be eaten? Time-sensitive, so that fast.
Oh, you mean like fulfilling a quota?
Like right away, yes. Yes,
Got it.
filling a quota. How many quotas do you have to get per day to maintain your rank?
It's not really like a per day sort of thing. To maintain my rank, we more like on a calendar year type of thing. I'm expected to pull in at least a dozen souls a year.
All of them. If you did 3 dozen, that means you would have to at least do 1 today. We'd like a meeting today.
Well, I can't promise a meeting with somebody that I don't have control over their schedule, but it sounds to me like you need less of a meeting and more access to the portal.
Yes. He's already agreed with my contact that we would get access to the portal. If you can provide that access without us having a meeting, well, then by all means.
So, if we do this job and Mitanu recognizes the greatness that we did, and he's able to grant you access to the portal without making time in his busy schedule for a meeting, that would be acceptable?
Provided
the meeting is not as important
as
the access to the portal, correct?
Correct. As long as we can get where we need to get to. The portal leads to Malbolge or maybe Maladumini. That would be perfectly fine.
The portals always lead to the next layer. So we could get you... I'm hesitant to promise, but yes, I will do everything in my power to get you access to that portal as soon as possible.
All right, so we'll make sure that you put it here on this contract in the red lines. That we will do what you need to do, including the penalties, which will be assigned to me. And then if you don't provide the meeting within an appropriate time period, that time period being within 24 hours.
72, be reasonable, Hal.
Then you will be, let's say, you will be bound to our service for a like period of time.
And that period of time being...
the time between it takes us to get a meeting, or at least us to get to the portal. So it's in your best interest to get us the help and everything done as quickly as possible.
Make a persuasion check, huh?
Of course. Yeah.
Oh,
No.
So he's like, when you come at me like this, that's very disrespectful. And I thought
Matanu, let me...
I'm with you most of the way, but there's no way I would put into a contract that I would be in service to you. That's ridiculous.
Shug, okay. I apologize for my colleague. Seems like I'm doing a lot of apologizing today, and, that's fine. That's completely fine. All right.
Do you guys...
So...
Oh, never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll bring it up at the end of this section.
New terms. So, if you
he
do
doesn't
not
have to
provide
be...
us a meeting with Matanu within 72 hours of handing
24.
you the contract. 72.
24. He doesn't have to be enslaved to us, and we get it in 24.
Alma shoots Hal a death glare. 72 hours. If you do not give us a meeting with Matanu within 72 hours of us completing this deal with you, our side of the deal, that is, you do everything within your power and then some to get us to the portal.
Within 24 hours.
He's like shaking his head back and forth, and he says, let's be reasonable, you're right. 72 hours access to the portal upon completion of the job. or a meeting with Mitanu.
Yes. Please.
All right. I'm in. Pulls the-
Ava glares at Hal. Sign the goddamn contract.
Yeah,
It's
like
your agreement.
he's got to take some
Your
time
to
to
sign it.
He's got to take some time to fix the contract, to make the changes that were required. But he does slide it over to you. He slides it over right between Ava and Hal. The contract's like equally between both of you.
This is entirely your mission, Hal.
Yep. And we should be compensated within 24 hours. Why would we have to wait?
Because sometimes there's give and take with the contracts
Yeah.
that we sign.
So I said, I said he should be in servitude, and I removed that, but that's still within 24 hours. And now you want to wait longer? Why would you want to do that? He doesn't have to be in servitude. So
bureaucracy
it's
takes
equal.
time, Hal.
He doesn't have to get a meeting. We can just go to the portal.
Oops, that's the wrong macro. It was right next to the one I was trying to roll. Back to the graveyard, Chase.
Oh no!
I had to roll to
zombie!
see your form of your contract.
Oh well.
I
I'm not
mean,
coming back. Here, let me sign that, and I'll take it and sign it. Kind of.
Okay, yeah. If you're gonna say
stand up and walk
this
away.
is just the formal contract. We gotta actually make it binding. Hang on a second. Oh, Imp Willie.
No!
And Imp Willie shows back up, and he's like, "Oh, the alleged 5 again. We're meeting." It's at this point you realize every imp is named Imp Willie, and it's a different. It's not the same. It's like Willy, Willie. You know, there's different spellings of Imp Willie, but
Oh, it's like a Pokemon Nurse Joy situation.
there you go. They're all Nurse Joy, right?
They're all like the same person, but not really.
So this new devil, like, Imp Willie rolls out a scroll of his own, right? It's not like you're like taking back what's this terrible form that this contract's going to take, right? And he rolls out just a scroll of vellum with a contract. It's written in like blood, and he just says, like, you know, you have to sign this using your own blood. And he hands you a quill that is one end, like the quill part is like a serrated dagger, so you can like get your own blood out if need be, Ava. Oh, actually, it was Hal, right? Well, that means you never. If Hal walked away, then you never signed the contract, right? So then I guess it's Ava. Because the contract you signed was just like, you know, it wasn't the actual contract; it was just the terms. So you just signed your name to the bottom of some like rough draft.
Yep.
So it's up to you, Ava.
Ava sighs and just like glares in the corner, looks like she's like counting to a certain number that's pretty high up there. Turns to Shug with a very gracious smile and says, "Let's do it."
Okay.
And you can tell she's like barely hanging on to her patience.
Mm-hmm. And he, in turn, like snaps off one of his spikes, and like it starts like oozing his blood out the other end, and then he uses that to like sign his end of the contract. And as you guys both finish, the contract like rolls itself up and like zips out of existence and disappears. And Imp Willie tips his hat, takes his soul coin payment, and he zips off too.
You know-
At least my soul's already taken for.
One positive thing of being the inferior in literally every social situation we come into is that we don't have to front the soul coins for these contracts. I mean, that was still technically our soul coin, I guess. Because that's probably the one that Hal gave. Phil Drock Shatter Fury. Looks towards any of the many monogram nameplates.
Sure. So Shug, content that you guys are now bound by contract and now cannot speak. Well, yeah, you get in the contract. It would probably have all of your names, so it would have like Ava, Marius, Morthos, Zeke, and Hal as like. Even though you signed it, Ava, like you 5 and Shug are the only ones that are allowed to talk about this, right? So part of the stipulation of the contract was if you mention this job to anyone that's not U6, then that's when the penalties start coming in, right? So like you're bound to secrecy legally now. So he feels Sorry, was that?
Just real quick, does that? I guess I'll ask Shug. Does that qualify to like non-humanoid creatures? Like if I'm just talking to a horse and no one else hears it?
It'd have to be anything with a soul. So yeah, horses are fine.
Okay.
But that's a philosophical question. I don't know.
Yeah,
if you want to argue your case in court,
no,
I don't intend to press charges unless that horse goes and talks to someone.
Well, yeah, if it's a talking horse, that's a different question. But like, yeah, gotcha.
So good. Everything looks to be in order. So now I can actually... Now I don't have to keep the details, so now that we're in this together. So here's the deal. There's a small outpost not far north from here called Garriston. They're a faction openly dedicated to Garyon. Unless they're planning to take concrete action against Levistus, there's not much we can do. So that's where you come in. In a couple of days, a shipment of paperwork will be leaving to make its way here before it's moved down to the lower levels for filing away. Once it's in the system, we lose our chance to get our hands on it. But while it's being transported, it's still vulnerable. You see, there's a guarded ice bridge just outside the city. You'll make your way there, incapacitate the guards, and wait without raising the alarm. As the ship passes underneath, lower yourselves onto it without drawing too much notice. Once there, make your way down below. Find the incriminating documents. Oh, I guess I don't have to speak in code. We have word they have a book which contains forbidden knowledge to be used against Levistus. And swipe it. But the trick is, we can't let them know what we were there for. So once you collect the documents, you need to make it look like a generic robbery. Steal other paperwork, find valuables. You know, I'll leave the details to you. Or, you know, burning the ship down works too. Once you have the book, return here and have Phildrux send word. It's complete. Once you do this, I can put you in front of Mataru or the portal as needed. And, help you get those goals. Make sense?
Is
All right.
Mataru Matana's brother?
Yes.
All right. So within the
Mitaru.
contract,
Is that right?
within the contract, per the contract, anything we swipe from this shipment in preparation to make it look like it was not a targeted attack is ours to keep, correct?
Yeah, it's all in the interest of public safety and, you know, anti-terrorism.
Very well.
You're free to keep whatever you find. One of the perks of being the good guys.
All right. That sounds agreeable.
So this outpost, it's, you know, we're anchored here on the edge of the River Styx, but this outpost, it's anchored to the north along the edge of the glaciers. I'm not sure if you've been that way yet, but there are different regions in Stygia, some with the free-floating ice flows and others like harder packed glacier environments. This city is anchored to the glaciers, basically. I'm not sure, you know, because everything shifts, I can't tell you exactly where it is, but I'm sure you'll have no trouble finding it. Again, you came highly recommended with your speeding around the place. In fact, you could just speed right onto the boat and bypass the whole ice bridge thing if that's more your gig, but just make sure once it's on that boat, it needs to be taken before it arrives here.
Sounds good.
The only stipulation was that it has to look like a generic robbery, not a targeted one, regardless of whether It's a violent robbery or a sneaky robbery, correct?
Well, sneaky robbery would be preferable, but if you know, I don't think it'll be that easy for you to get in and out completely unnoticed. So just making it look like a generic robbery so they don't know what we were there for.
Okay. Great.
Because, we don't want them to know that we have the book that they were planning to use against him. At least a copy of the
I
book.
understand.
Perfect.
Yeah, I think I understand the job. I think. Is there anything else anyone wants before Shug goes?
Yeah, any more details I can provide? I can spill the beans now. I'm like this close to a promotion. Sorry, what was that?
Who should we expect? Or what kind of crew should we expect on this cargo ship?
The ship itself is typically piloted by a chain devil. They put him in charge, and he usually sits on the bow and uses his chains to sort of propel the ship through the ice and kind of break through the glaciers. It's a very hardy ship, icebreaker ship or so. This shouldn't be anything more than a few imps on board. Maybe if you're unlucky, like a barb devil, or very unlikely it's anything stronger than that. It's just a routine paperwork delivery.
How strong are we talking here? Like worst case scenario.
I mean, worst case scenario, they're smuggling Garyon in the hull, and as you go down underneath, you come face to face with our, the terrorist himself. But that would never happen.
Gary's on this goddamn ship, I just know it.
What kind of a dick DM would I have to be to put you guys up against Garyon without a long rest?
Don't say it ending your statement in that manner, because now I'm not sure.
Wait, I'm also staring right into the camera with that face on,
Okay.
But I seriously doubt, unless he's coming here and planning to, like, assault the city, like, why would they be smuggling him to Tantalin? It doesn't add up.
Oh, it adds up to me. But what do I know?
Anything else? Any other information I can provide for you guys?
Can't particularly think of anything. You said that it's just glaciers north of here?
It is.
Okay.
So, in the interest of not dragging things out longer than they have to be, do you guys want to, like, fast forward to, like, right before the job goes off? Or do you want to hex crawl across the map to find it?
I'm down with fast forwarding if you are, because
Yeah.
it
You guys
also
spent
the
a-
idea of rolling on the encounter table without now my spells are limited not by a certain
that's true.
consistent thing, and that scares me.
I'm fine with fast forwarding if no one wants to do the hex crawl.
You might have to hex crawl back, or at least, I don't know. But I'm more interested in fast forwarding something interesting happening, you know what I mean?
I think hex crawling back is a good compromise. That way we don't just like circumvent the hex crawl. I think it's a really cool idea, but especially with it being like 20 minutes out from pretty much ending the night, I think that's a cool idea.
Sure. Yeah, so you meet up with Marius and explain the terms, and there's this montage of you guys meeting up and packing up the tower and like hiking across the city. And I'm just gonna move your token to where it is, right? So like you come here, you cut up, we cut up here, we go north until we reach the glacier. And you can see the dark blue glacier now.
Yep.
And then we just follow that north. There's like nights of you guys like walking until you're like exhausted, or as far as you can, and then setting up camp for the night, and then like somebody has to watch because like the the glaciers like shift throughout the course of the night, and you like get off course, and you got to like recorrect itself. But eventually, as you get here, you see this outpost along the glacier right here. And so I'm going to put you guys on this map down here.
This outpost is called Garriston?
Garriston,
right?
yeah. Yeah, Garyon is like the person that they worship, or like, you know, the old leader, and Garriston is like his old like main city, right?
Okay. And then there's a boat passing through dock here.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
I'm dragging you guys down here to this map.
Oh, wow. It's a big one.
It's a little bit big, yeah.
I had no health the last time.
Updating my token.
Yeah, make sure your token's updated because it's been a while since we actually saw our tokens. And make sure that your vision looks right.
Yeah, dark vision's hell of a drug.
Yeah, you can actually see now.
Isn't it nice?
I get to like see the dungeons. These maps look great.
Yeah. Morthos has like the best vision. He's like, oh yeah, I can see 120 feet like daylight. So this is the ice bridge. You're not far from the outpost. So you backtrack. He mentioned the ice bridge, and he said his advice was to basically set up on the ice bridge, and as the boat passes underneath, to lower yourselves onto it. But that was his suggestion. You guys are the adventurers, so it's really your plan. He did mention that the bridge was going to be guarded, and I'm, you know, like especially like here, like hiding on the edge, peeking over the thing, like Marius and Morthos, and I think Hal. I think maybe everyone can kind of see there is like a guard here, like on the on this ice bridge. So you guys tell me what you guys would like to do.
Morthos.
We can take him out.
Yeah, I agree. Morthos, how many do you see? I only see the one.
Yeah, there's only one. It's about 45 feet up in front of us.
I'm thinking of the logistics of putting someone with 60 foot of dark vision on a bridge in a place that's like infinitely dark. Like, I gotta make sure nothing comes within 60 feet of this ice bridge. But it is what it is.
You can only see on the bridge. Really poor planning on the devil's part.
Logistically, they would at least need to have one on each side of the bridge. But, you know, I'm not going to argue with the city and their poor planning.
Well, to be clear, you can't see the other side of the bridge.
Morthos can.
Yeah, not if it's more than 120 feet.
Yeah, Morthos can see pretty far.
Yeah. Well, to the other side of the map's 100 feet, and it kind of just disappears, so. Might be one hell of a long bridge.
Yeah, the map goes out 200 feet, looks like.
Yeah.
195.
It is a pretty wide map. It's like 40 squares tall and 60 squares wide, I think.
Yeah.
Very nice. Yeah, that's 200 by...
So,
All right.
yeah, I'm seeing about to the end of that bridge, which is like 90, but...
Now, what I would say is, too, like, you guys are here now spying it, but if you wanted to, like, split up and have somebody, like, loop around to the other side of the bridge and, like, you know, do, like, an assault from both sides at the same time or something, you totally could.
Yep.
Like, just because you're on this side of the bridge doesn't mean there's no way to get to the other side.
Yep.
Marius is flying 30 feet. 30 feet.
Make a stealth check for me, Marius.
I would have gone as far away as I needed to.
Okay, you're just gonna fly, like, you're just gonna leave the group and just fly like the long way.
Yeah, I'm gonna
right?
fly around.
Hey.
I'm like, I get far enough away to where I can't see him anymore,
Sure.
and then I go an extra 10 feet.
You're not
and I
just cutting
go, like, that
across
far out.
the ice bridge.
No.
You're just moving to the other side. Okay, but
And then I start getting lower on this side.
sure. So as you come onto this side, right? Because if you're gonna get into range to see him, he's gonna be in range to see you, right?
I understand.
So go ahead and make a stealth check here. You have the advantage of he has dark vision and not like full light vision like you.
Okay.
So he
can
you know,
see me
his
up here?
passive is lower than it normal, which is again dumb for a guard, but whatever. Does he have
Okay.
like Devil Sight or something?
You would think devils would
'Cause-
have devil sight.
What I was
Sure.
trying to do is just give him such a wide berth
Uh-huh.
that he wouldn't, like, I'd just be outside of his viewing range.
Yeah. For there, unless you're gonna sneak up and do any sort of scouting, there's no roll needed.
Yeah.
But
So
if
what
your
I'm going
plan
to do
is
is
to
get to the other side.
Okay.
I'm not going to get near him. I'm going to get to the other side of the bridge.
Okay.
So if there's anyone over there, that's who I'd be rolling against. Because I just
Perfect.
want to get to the other side of the bridge to see if there's anyone over there.
You can get to where you are right here without any rolls. If you start moving up there, then we're gonna start making rolls.
Okay. Do we have any way to contact each other?
Yeah.
Sending stones.
Oh,
Oh yeah, y'all do have sending stones.
that's very true.
Yeah. We do have sending stones. So I'm gonna get over here and say, all right, I'm on the other side. I'm a little wary to get closer to the bridge because I'm a big metal angel. So, does anyone want to ride Saul and get over on this side with me, and then we'll kind of do a pincer attack towards the center of the bridge? I just wanted to be over here so in case someone tried to run away from us, we weren't just chasing after them.
Sure. I guess.
Who wants to come on over?
I can jump over. Somebody else wants to go.
I'll stay on this side.
All right. Morthos jumps on Soul and heads on over.
And then Soul's just gonna drop Morthos off here, and then he's gonna stay like 200 feet above and just hang out.
You don't happen to have like a Pegasus token, do you?
No, I haven't made one.
Well, we'll just like pretend there's one for now. We can use the Nightmare temporarily,
Okay.
but we need to update that if we have a good token for Saul.
That's true.
All right. So I'm coming over.
You'd have to give it a pretty wide berth because Saul, you know, glows. Does Saul technically glow? I think it does.
As a nightmare, he does. As a Pegasus,
Nightmare
he doesn't.
Oh, as a Pegasus. That's right. He's not a see, that's why we need a freaking Pegasus token because I looked at the Nightmare token. Do Pegasus have sparkle glow?
Yeah, he doesn't. No, they don't. We all wish they do.
So yeah, Morthos is able to meet you over there. And, you know, from where you are, Morthos, you can relay some new information to Marius that he may not otherwise know.
So how does it look?
There's a guard sitting probably about 50, 55 feet in front of us on the bridge.
All right. I'm so glad I stopped. I could see the edge of the bridge, and I was like, okay, I don't want to get any closer. So they were smarter than I gave
Yeah,
them
they have one on each side of the bridge.
One on each side of the bridge, okay.
You got your little setting stone.
All right, well, yeah, so I flip my sending stone
And
open
by the way, just
like
real
a
quick,
razor.
I also see the beginning of the ship is getting close to the bridge.
All right, then we need to do this. I'm gonna.
From what you can see, it doesn't look like it's
flip-
moving. It actually looks like it's docked right there.
Okay, so all right, so then I pass
But
that along. It
the
looks
ship
like it's
is
docked.
there.
Yep, 95 feet in front.
Oh,
The
the
front of
ship
the
is
ship,
there.
I can see it. I can only see the front of the ship. It's not moving.
Okay,
So.
okay. I flip my sending stone open and I say, you guys might want to start attacking down there, and then this one on the north will move down and will come up behind him.
Okay.
Sounds
Okay.
good.
Why don't you guys give me your initiative rolls?
Sure, this will be another nat 20 from Zeke on his.
Well, they
he's
got a
known for
natural
high
one, which
initiative.
fits because you guys are
That's about right.
you're jumping them, right? I think
Doesn't
that's
matter.
awesome.
Doesn't matter when I get a natural 3.
Oh my
Me and
god.
Zeke.
At least you rolled as high as a 3.
I wanted to go after them actually because I want that guy on the top to move south.
Are we rolling
Yeah.
for Saul? Or are you gonna keep him out of it?
Well, that's an interesting question. Morthos, do you want to ride Saul so you have 90 feet of movement? But you'd have to wait until my turn to move. That's the only problem.
We can roll initiative for Saul, and you'd move on Saul's turn.
That's fine. Yeah,
What do
that's
you
fine.
think?
I'm gonna
Okay,
mostly
let me
stay
roll for
range
him.
attack, but yeah, that'll work. Can actually fly on him.
I don't have access. Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. I don't have access to Saul.
Oh, good. Let me change it from Nightmare to Saul.
Thanks, man.
Wait, we have to have a token for Saul, no?
We did. I don't know what happened.
Maybe we never made a separate character sheet for Saul. It might
Okay,
just.
well, we can do this. Yeah.
I'll just give you. I can just give you control of the token. I think, right?
Yes. Thank you,
I'll
sir.
just do this to say Saul, and then. Oh no, because it says controlled by character settings. How do we do it before?
I'm not sure.
Interesting. Anyways.
Well, I guess you could roll initiative for it.
Am I rolling it for the Nightmare or am I rolling it for Pegasus? What's a Pegasus dex bonus? I'm just gonna roll it.
+2.
Yeah. I'm gonna roll it for here. It's also a +2 for
Damn,
Nightmare,
Saul.
so. That's fine.
Good for Saul.
I'll figure out. I'll go back and find Soul's token and find out how he did it. Okay.
Okay.
So, you get on the walkie-talkies and you guys are like coordinating your assault, and you basically, oh god, Zeke, you got a 2,
Back to normal. Yep.
and then you hear like a now kind of thing, and Ava is first to react.
Yep. Alright, so just to clarify, this guy right here, I would probably have, it would be a straight roll or a disadvantage.
It would be, you mean for attacking?
Mm-hmm.
At this point, it's probably advantage because he doesn't notice you.
Okay, cool.
I gave you guys that like, sneak up. Like I assumed you guys were starting like in stealth.
I will do that then.
And it's kind of like a surprise round because they haven't noticed you yet.
15 to hit.
Your bolt sails clear out and like just through the open sky and splashes into the cold waters below.
Alright. Gonna move up one.
You're like, it's been so long since I fought.
Yeah. It's difficult, man. Is there any way I can hide around here?
Yeah, there's like glaciers and like different like shards of glass. You definitely would be able to like either like lay in the snow or find something to hide behind. So just assume like this not this path one that you're on, but these like darker blue spaces would be like, you'd have cover.
All right. This one's fine.
You're wearing the crampons, right?
Yes.
So here's the thing with this icy ground. That since it's the first time we're doing combat in it, it's a good point to call it out. You can move up to half your speed. And if you take consciously only use a move to move like half speed, like treating it as difficult terrain, then there's no issues with falling over. If you try to move at like full speed, then that's when you start making saves to not like slip and fall, and you would have advantage on the save with your crampons. Now Hal and Zeke, you guys have that feature that allows you to ignore non-magical difficult terrain, right?
Yeah.
So you guys would not have to worry about that at all. You can move full speed across the ice.
Ava has to be like slow and stealthy, and this giant, honking crab man just running at full speed.
Yeah, Mortho, same thing, but you're flying on Saul right now, and Marius flies all the time anyway. So
I just clap my hands and say clamp-ons.
But it seems mostly this is going to be like an Ava thing. So.
All right. Bonus action hide.
Okay.
27.
Not terrible.
Yeah,
All right.
That's her.
Saul gets to go next. What is Saul's like command? Like, what is he doing?
Dodging for now.
Okay, that's true because Morthos can see from here.
Morthos also has like what 300 feet for his Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, he can't see that far right now, but he
Yeah.
can't do it. Okay, Hal. You there, Rick?
Might be muted.
Yeah, I muted myself. the other way. All right, I'm going to move 20 feet back this way.
Not slipping on the ice whatsoever.
Yep. And I will, I have my bow out ready to go.
Okay.
And as I pull a magical arrow, right, getting ready to fire, I teleport to right here, and I shoot my first arrow.
Okay. You have advantage because he's, you're going before him. It's just kind of like a surprise round.
27
27 hits.
for
These
16
are also,
piercing.
you get a good look at them. These are the same guys you guys have fought before. The one that stole the shields from your clutches in the distant past.
Yep.
So that's 16.
16 piercing.
Okay.
And I would like to use a shadow arrow
Okay.
on my bow.
So first of all, describe what that looks like, and then tell us mechanically what it does.
So you see Hal run across the snow, and he pulls this what looks like a dark arrow out of nothing, and then he instantly teleports like further away, and then he fires this dark streak of black energy, and it flies through the air.
Nice.
And you're using that new bow that Asmodeus gave you.
Yep. And I will use Shadow Arrow that causes 1 charge.
Okay.
And maybe causing to foes creature hit by the arrow takes an extra 2d6 psychic. And
Okay.
it must make a wisdom saving throw, DC 17.
Yeah, he doesn't have advantage on it, so it's just a straight wisdom saving throw. He gets a 7.
Okay. He cannot see anything further than 5 feet away from him until the start of my next turn.
Very, very cool.
Nice.
And I will take my second attack,
Yep.
assuming advantage again.
So his eye, the shadow hits him. He takes. Oh, you didn't roll the 2d6.
I didn't roll
actually, right?
2d6. Regular roll 9.
Okay. Oh, and then is that including the
Oh.
plus 2?
And then another 2, 11. Good thing I put it on my put it on my bow. Otherwise,
Sure.
I wouldn't have
Okay.
seen that.
So hits him for more because you're still in your like fiend killing mode.
Yep.
Okay.
And
And
I
now
will,
his eyes pull black and he can't see more than 5 feet away from him.
I'll take my second attack advantage as
Go for
well.
it.
22
22 hits.
for 14 piercing.
14 piercing. He's bloodied.
And that was 20 feet. And I will move there. And that's my turn.
Awesome. Morthos.
All right, so I'm going to be riding Saul, correct?
You are. You're on Saul's back, but Saul's not moving. Saul's still just hovering there.
Okay, so I'm just on his back right now, and I'll take my Eldritch Blast. And I yell out, Maliki.
Ooh, 17 misses.
All right, try it again. Maliki.
Look at that, plus 12. 18 misses.
Oh,
Jesus.
no.
Come on,
He-
Maliki. Maybe
You know what he
just-
does is he blue steals it from like Zoolander, where he
Wait.
just stares down your Eldritch
Hold on.
Blast.
He doesn't
These-
have advantage.
Oh yeah, you have
Yeah.
advantage. So,
So that's
17
the
and
first
18
one.
together
Yeah.
still miss. So the first one misses, but you have
Okay.
advantage because he can't see you. It's a surprise round. Good call,
All right.
guys.
So I had advantage on the first shot only, right? Or
No, you have
all?
advantage. I'm giving advantage for the whole round because it's like until they get their
Okay.
turn, they're surprised.
All right. So
But you
I
still
yell,
can't see.
Yep, Maliki.
23 hits.
14.
14.
And I'm back. Maliki.
Did you fish for the crit?
Yeah, you didn't roll with the advantage again. Okay. 8 points.
Second attack.
Go for it. Little captain. Like kind of like you watch him, he's kind of securing the ship. It's currently like anchored like into the thing. He's not like looking up at you. He doesn't seem to have noticed what's going on up there. He's just down on his ship tending to the ship stuff. All right, Zeke.
Okay, I'm gonna move forward. This guy still can't see.
He's blinded to anyone more than 5 feet away from him.
Which means he can't see me if I were to attack him.
Nope, you'd have
Which is
advantage.
tempting. So I'm going to do that. I'm gonna Thorn Whip him.
Very nice.
And if I hit him, I get to pull him, presumably off the bridge. 21 for 13.
You'd have to get a little closer because he's 35 feet from you there.
Ah, okay.
Actually, if you move one more square to the left. I think if you go there, then you're going to start slipping down the edge of the cliff into the water. But, like, there is fine, yeah. Oh, it still says 35.
Not quite. Where did I start my turn? Shit, I should have kept better track of this. I think I was here.
Whatever, it's close enough. So, 21 hits.
Okay, 13 piercing, and then I want to pull him 10 feet closer to me. So I think that we'll probably have him here.
Is there any save on that?
Let me double check that.
There
If it's larger or smaller, I can just pull the creature.
Okay.
Yeah, Thorn Whip's cool. You can hit display to show him the text.
Oh, yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, no. So you whip it, and you yank him closer 10 feet. He can't see anything, but, like, you fish him closer.
Okay. And that'll be my turn.
All right, top of the second round, Ava.
All right. Crossbow attack.
Yep.
At advantage because I'm assuming 27 beats their passive.
Also, he's blind right now.
And blinded. Ooh, 27 hit.
Yeah, 27 hits.
Why do you and Rick keep getting 27?
We basically got to here, right? And now, next week, we will, like, be able to decide. I had to get a little bit of combat in, guys. It's been too long.
Yeah, no kidding.
So I hadn't heard you say Maliki in like a month, Mike.
In like three 10 days.
5-10 days. Yeah, whenever.
Yeah, 5-10 days. So yeah, so you take out the guards. So step 1 is complete, and step 2 will be to infiltrate the ship, and we can do that next week. So, yeah, well done, guys. You did it. You took out the guards. I was curious. See, for me, it's interesting to see how many resources you would expend taking care of this. Because knowing that you don't get the long rest and stuff, it can be. Now that you know, it's interesting for me to see you guys have to weigh out what resources you're going to expend and not.
I'm basically only using things that I can get back on a short rest.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Because that's not even for sure gonna happen. That's still a maybe.
Right.
Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say with like an 8-hour long rest, that could become a short rest with the right saving throw, right? The DC's not high. Just you guys were rolling really bad.
Especially because Mary's just like +9 or something insane.
Right, that's a big bonus to everyone, right?
Well, I've got a +8 for myself, but +5 for everybody else.
Yeah. Very cool. Well, we did it, guys. We got somewhere in Stygia. We have a tangible mission we're on.
Finally.
It took us a long time to get there, but we did it. So the one thing I really want to know, like, how much do you guys hate devil bureaucracy yet?
Yes.
Because
what are you talking about?
We're only on Stygia. We got plenty more layers of devil bureaucracy to go. You guys are like, yeah, this is going to be an awesome campaign. Little did you know, it's all about contract law.
Because I didn't want to be a lawyer. I'm playing D&D to be cool, Steve.
I mean, if you want to fight things, stay on Avernus. Avernus is the war lair. Everywhere else is all, conniving, backstabbing, and stuff.
We need to get Wimp Illy, or let's just say Imp Willie. Need to get Imp Willie on a retainer.
No, I like Wimp Illy.
Freudian slip.
Anyways. Yeah. Well, that was Beyond Avernus for this week. At least next week, it'll be more fast-paced, because now we get to infiltrate the ship, and I spent the last, 45 minutes before we went live, making sure the ship map was ready to go.
Nice.
So now that's ready for next week already.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyways, any closing thoughts, guys? Anything anything fun?
I think after multiple different NPCs like fiend NPCs doing the contract shenanigans, I think I understand why people hurt other people now.
Contracts are just a way of life here, and there's going to be a lot of contracts in your future if you continue to deal with devils. Or you can go the other way and just start, killing your way through things, because that's always the option too, right?
Yeah, but it's hard to go back sometimes.
You'd also, as long as you play the game within the boundaries of the lair, for the most part, like, nothing's assaulting you as you jump. It's not like Avernus where things are attacking you all the time. People are very content to leave you alone as long as they're not rocking the boat. Especially given the decree.
I'm gonna be honest, like having a lot of the encounters in Avernus be like, okay, these are still problematic encounters, but like there's usually like some, like, maybe not imps exactly, but some like weak devils that there are 3 or 4 of them. You can just attack one and more or less kill it. That felt good. Now it's like, oh well, these things are stronger.
Well,
there's less of them.
The interesting thing is, right, like, we went to, like, the high CR creatures in Avernus, right? So part of my challenge is, like, either I keep throwing inexplicably crazier, tougher monsters at you guys, or I find a way to make the lesser challenging monsters, like the lesser CR monsters and devils, challenging again, which is partly why you guys don't get the long rests, because that way you can fight weaker stuff and still have them be a threat, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
By knowing you can't just, like, use all your resources on every fight.
Very good.
So for this lair, that's the gimmick. And so I have an idea. Each lair will have its own gimmick. Avernus was the whole, like, exhaustion, turning evil, kind of thing. This is the, it's too cold for a long rest and it hurts your soul. And you get to see some of the interesting things we do on the other layers, because I got some fun ideas. But the idea is I want each layer to feel distinct from the others in different ways, and that's what this layer's defining feature.
Even more sucky ways.
Mm-hmm. How many different ways can life suck? Stay tuned and find out.
At least 9.
I don't know. For some reason, this just, like, not being able to get a good night's sleep is both resonating with me as, like, mechanically and just, like, personally way more than I expected.
Nice.
I'm, like, in a bad mood thinking about it.
Well, let's do our sign off. This is our last game of 2020, so as you guys know, as soon as 2021 hits, everything is going to be great again, magically.
Well, maybe not, but at least we'll have a little prestige icon next to the year this time.
Yeah. Let's hope it's not, New Game Plus, 2020 New Game Plus next year. So, Tyler, why don't you sign us out first?
Yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been Beyond Avernus.
Well, I meant more like a personal sign-off, but you can do it for the group too. That's fine.
Well, I'm Tyler, and this has been Beyond Avernus.
Follow me at...
Don't
follow him, actually.
Follow me at GS_fuzz, and make sure to follow everyone else too. Let them know how much you like their characters and you like them. They're real cool.
Yep. So, Mike, you want to say bye?
Good night, guys.
Jordan.
See you in 2021.
Jordan.
Good night, everybody. Happy New Year, and we'll see you next week.
Happy New Year, yeah. Rick.
Hey, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate all the support. Like, subscribe, DM Steve. If you like it, at Hallowed or Hallowed Hunt on YouTube. Thanks for watching. See you next year.
Yeah, that's a good point to call this out too. Like, if you watch the DM Steve stream, you can see it from a DM perspective. But if you watch the Hallowed Hunt YouTube or the Hallowed D&D on Twitch, then you get a player view of the same content. So, if you want to stay more spoiler free, then you should watch the player view. If you watch my view, you can see all the DM
watch them
content.
both at the same time.
You can watch them both at the same time. That works too. All right, Brianna.
Good night, everyone. Happy holidays. And Happy New Year. Stay safe. Please follow government guidelines for slowing the spread of COVID-19 because
Yes,
it makes
please.
it would make a lot of people's lives easier.
Yep.
It's a very small inconvenience for you guys, so please just stay safe.
I heard in LA they were down to like 0 free beds.
Yes, that is correct.
So it's only going to get worse from here as long as that trend stays.
Yep.
So, yeah, stay home, stay safe. Play online, that like we do. So, till next week, this is DM Steve telling you to stick around and come back and see what lies beyond Avernus. Take care.
Yay, thank you.
I was born a simple man, educated just to fight. But I got soul, I got conviction, and a will to put things right. We lived our lives on grinding metal. For our people we have bled. We take comfort in the rhythm of machine guns spitting lead. Grind for the dawn, backbone and brawn. Survive as the last of our